Live from WOWT, this is our First Alert 6 Weather Day.
And good evening, everyone. Nick Weig here with you. We are coming back on our streaming channels as we do have some severe weather that has developed in the southeastern portion of our viewing area tonight as a new line of showers and thunderstorms has developed. So let's get you out now to that new warning that's been issued. And there you see this does include the community of Beatrice. New severe thunderstorm warning now in effect. We're going to go in and zoom in on this area for you now. As this has just come across here in just the last few minutes. New severe thunderstorm warning. Primary threat is likely going to be hail with this. But as you can see, the heaviest portion of this cell right now over the just southwest of the Diller area. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect for portions of Gage and Jefferson counties until 10:30 this evening. There is a threat for 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts as well as hail of around 1 inch in diameter. That's about the size of a nickel. So this severe thunderstorm warning in relation to this line of showers and thunderstorms that has really just begun to develop over the last hour or two after the sun is set. But not expecting a lot of widespread severe weather with this, but obviously the potential of some large hail and those damaging wind gusts. So severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for Gage and Jefferson counties until 10:30. This does include Beatrice, Diller, Philly, and Pickrell until 10:30 this evening. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at the storm which has prompted this severe thunderstorm warning. We'll zoom in here right on the border between Fairbury and Diller. And this is where we're likely keeping an eye out for a bit of a hail core embedded in this storm. We'll see what we can find in there so far. And there you see where the radar is picking up indications of some larger hail. Now, right now, the radar is just indicating just over ½ an inch in diameter hail. Now, that is below severe limits, but again, these storms have just begun developing, so they are intensifying. We're going to take a look at the wind parameters here as well, just to see if there's anything of notice. And so far, I don't think we're seeing much in the way of any significant rotation or any strong wind gusts. Certainly a possibility as these storms kind of pulse in and out. But again, I think the primary threat tonight is going to be that large hail threat as these storms push through the area. There you see that polygon that was just issued for the severe thunderstorm warning. Again, now in effect until 10:30 this evening for the areas you see bordered there in yellow. See if we can get you some additional information. We're also going to see if we can find any traffic cameras down there that may be able to show us what's going on in this area. As always, if you have any questions about the severe weather threat tonight, which is very isolated, I do want to stress that, feel free to ask us in our Facebook comments on this post or in our YouTube chat. We're also live there as well. We're also coming to you live on our 24/7 weather channel on Roku devices, as well as on Twitch and TikTok as well. So trying to make our weather coverage as available as possible for you, even when it's not necessarily significant enough to break into regular programming like The Voice right now. So I want to at least give you an avenue to keep tabs on what's happening in the area when strong to severe thunderstorms do threaten. Now, the Storm Prediction Center has been considering a watch for this area. We have not heard yet if they're going to pull the trigger on that just yet. As you can see, the watch has not been issued. The tornado watch you see to our north and east, that has already been expired early for those counties. But we are monitoring the Storm Prediction Center to see if they decide to issue a watch. If they do, it would be for the southeastern portions of our viewing area, primarily this area you see here. So Lincoln, Omaha Metro, and points east and north likely not facing any ongoing threat for severe weather, but this does affect roughly the southern third of our viewing area, and so that's why we want to make sure we're giving you the latest information. Let's go back out now live to First Alert Radar. There you see some additional development. Obviously, they're going to be keeping an eye on. We have another pretty potent hail core taking shape west of the warning. This is west of Fairbury in the Reynolds area. And then Also, we have another strengthening cell to the northeast of this severe thunderstorm warned cell. This is in the Cook area. So obviously several areas that we're going to be keeping an eye on here over the next couple of hours as this line of showers and thunderstorms continues to develop in the southern third of our viewing area. Cheyenne on our YouTube channel asks about Lincoln. Well, let's go ahead and zoom out here a little bit. You do see Lincoln there on the top of the page. I think these showers and thunderstorms are going to largely avoid Lincoln. Can't rule out an isolated shower or thunderstorm, but I would say the severe threat right now is staying to the south. Let's go ahead and put this in motion so you can get a better look at that. And you can see how quickly these storms have kind of erupted over the last 20 to 30 minutes from this what was just a line of light showers. But the dynamics are pretty good down there that we could see some isolated reports of large hail, could still be a potential for some strong wind gusts as well as these storms kind of pulse up and down. But again, no major concern for tornadoes at this hour. Right now, I think the primary concern is maybe a brief strong wind gust and then especially that hail threat, which has been the primary mode of severe weather across the upper Midwest today, as areas to our east have seen massive, massive hail, upwards of 3 inches in diameter in parts of Iowa and Wisconsin. Fortunately, we are missing out on that tonight. Again, if you're just joining us, this is a severe thunderstorm warning for Gage and Jefferson counties until 10:30 this evening. For portions of our viewing area, you see that warning also stretches to the south and west, just east of the Fairbury area, if anybody is watching us in that area. But again, you can see that these thunderstorms have rapidly developed, and of course, the main concern with such rapid intensification like that is for those updrafts to produce some larger hailstones. That is going to be our primary concern here in the short term. Again, as you can see, these storms really popping up rather quickly, just within the last 30 minutes or so. And we're going to continue to monitor this line as it is just getting going. Some of these storms seem to be kind of pulsing in and out, which is pretty common for especially hail-producing storms. But as you can see, if some of them do begin to weaken, like we are seeing a little bit of weakening in the storm that prompted this warning, there is another cell beginning to take shape just to the west of it. And so we could see additional warnings issued as this entire line is being monitored right now, primarily for large hail, but of course all modes of severe weather do remain possible tonight. Again, we do expect this to stay south of the Omaha metro area. They can't rule out some showers and thunderstorms tonight, but the severe threat is largely pushed to the south and east of the Omaha metro area, the I-80 corridor stretching west towards Lincoln and York. It's really that southeastern third of our viewing area right now that still faces a slight threat of some severe weather over the next few hours. So again, right now, major community in the path of this severe thunderstorm warning is Beatrice, as this line has really begun developing and obviously much more prolific in lightning, as you can see, than the storms that we saw earlier this evening west of Omaha. But we are going to see if we can find any traffic cameras in that area that may be working at this hour. Let's see what we can find here down there. I'm not sure if we have any live cameras, but we'll see if we can find one or two. Okay, we may have one here right smack in between Beatrice and Fairbury. So let's see if we can get this pulled up here for you. And that is not set up correctly. I apologize for that. Let me get that up here for you. There's a better look at it. Now, this is Highway 136 west of Harbin. I'm going to go ahead and zoom this in just a moment. There we go. So this is Highway 136 west of Harbin, so right in between Fairbury and Beatrice. And you can see very, very intense lightning going on there as these storms continue to fire up in the southern portion of our viewing area. Make sure we get the right sources on here so this works this time. There we go. Obviously, a lot of intense lightning in this area. This is, to give you an idea of where this is right in between Beatrice and Fairbury in the southwestern portion of our viewing area. And you can see that just intense lightning all across the shot. Obviously, it's very dark, so this is kind of a night vision mode that the traffic cameras from the Nebraska Department of Transportation utilize. But obviously, you can see the amount of lightning in these storms right now. We'll keep an eye on that camera for you, but right now, let's go back now live to First Alert Radar and get an update on where these storms are. And we are seeing some additional intensification in these storms. Let's get a closer look at some of these. I'm going to go ahead and pull the lightning off of this. And we're going to go ahead and take a look. I would not be surprised to see another warning fired up west of our current warning. As those cells, and that was right here. Harbin is where our camera was located, and you see it's kind of stuck in between a couple of weakening cells. That certainly would indicate why we were seeing so much lightning without a lot of rain. But now we do have this other cell now taking shape to the south and west, and I would imagine that one may have a better signature on it. Just kind of developing a hail core north of Reynolds. The hail core that we saw east of Fairbury has largely subsided right now. Just seeing these pockets of possibly pea-sized hail that are falling. You see those clouded areas throughout the warned area, but no indication of any large hail falling at this time. We do have this developing core now to the west of the warning. I'm sure the Weather Service is keeping a close eye on that right now, especially for people in the Fairbury area. That could be potentially a source of large hail here in the not too distant future. We're going to go ahead and zoom out here a little bit so you can see this entire line developing as we switch over to the Omaha radar site. And you can see now stretching all the way from Nebraska City, south and west between Adams and Tecumseh, and then down towards Beatrice and back towards Fairbury as well. Over on Facebook, Craig asking, what conditions are new with this development compared to earlier this evening, low-level jet? Yeah, that's a bit of a part of it, Craig. We were kind of talking throughout today that there were two essential boundaries, kind of a northern boundary and a southern boundary we are keeping an eye on in our area. And the northern boundary tried to light up earlier this evening, didn't really have the dynamics in place to really produce that. Now we're seeing, now that the sun has gone down, the jet has picked up, we're seeing this development along the southern boundary we were keeping an eye out for. And I think the difference really is that I don't think we expect a lot of what we call surface-based thunderstorms. These are going to be a little bit more elevated, but because they fire up so quickly and they're so volatile and they are elevated, they do still have a good capability of producing some large hail at times, and that is why we have this severe thunderstorm warning now in effect. Also on Facebook, Angela asking, so is this moving to the east? Well, I can go ahead and put this in motion for you, and you can see the general direction of it is to the northeast, and it's really all kind of firing simultaneously along this boundary. Now, how long this severe risk is going to last really remains to be seen in terms of the track and intensity of this, and I think that's why we've seen the Storm Prediction Center so far holding off on issuing any kind of watch for this area. They are still monitoring this area, and it looks like we may have just gotten that watch, actually. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Again, these are very prolific lightning producers as they are firing up quickly. We're now seeing new development east of our viewing area in Iowa, so it is possible we could see some additional storms firing up from Nebraska City up towards the Shenandoah, Red Oak area and points to the east. But again, while the storms themselves are moving to the northeast, the entire complex is going to be moving more towards the east. Right now, we don't expect this to impact the Omaha metro area in any way. There you see that new severe thunderstorm watch that has just been issued for the southeastern, I'd say third of our viewing area. The severe thunderstorm watch just issued a short time ago. Here's the latest information we have on that. This severe thunderstorm watch will remain in effect for now until 2 o'clock tomorrow morning. This does include the communities of Beatrice, Indianola, Maryville, Newton, Oskaloosa, Ottumwa, Pella, and Polk. As you can see, it also includes Nebraska City, Shenandoah, Red Oak, Maryville, and Falls City. So again, this severe thunderstorm watch is now in effect until 2 o'clock this morning, or tomorrow morning rather, for the threat of strong winds and large hail and maybe an isolated tornado. But I really think the primary threat in these storms for now is going to be the large hail. Possibly if they begin accelerating further to the east, we could see a strong wind threat or a better strong wind threat. But right now, I don't think we're going to see any major severe weather outside of probably large hail, I think, is going to be the primary threat with these storms. Back now to live first alert radar. There you see the latest scan as thunderstorms continue to fire up across this line. We are watching an intensifying cell that will enter our area shortly. And really, we just saw this line kind of fire up in the last 30 minutes. And now the area under the warned area, those thunderstorms have kind of weakened off a little bit, and that's to be expected after this initial development, that they may kind of pulse in and out. They may weaken a bit, then re-intensify, just kind of cycle back and forth. That is very common for these types of storms. We also see another possibly developing hail core further to the north and east here in the Cook area. That we'll be keeping an eye on as well. But at the very least, a lot of vivid lightning, a very intense rainfall as well can certainly be expected with all these storms as we move through the next few hours here. But again, all of this is south and east of the metro area. We don't expect any severe weather now in the metro area for the rest of the night, but can't rule out an isolated shower or thunderstorm beyond what we're seeing now in southeastern Nebraska moving into southwest Iowa. So as we continue to monitor this, I'm going to check and see if we have any updates on this severe thunderstorm warning. As of just a few seconds ago, the National Weather Service says they're going to continue the severe thunderstorm warning until 10:30. Severe thunderstorm was located 6 miles southwest of Beatrice, moving northeast at 50 miles per hour. So with that kind of forward velocity, certainly could still be some strong wind gusts in there as well as some isolated large hail. But again, I think what most people are going to notice is the prolific amount of lightning that is being developed in these storms, and largely because they're developing so rapidly. There's a lot of instability left in the atmosphere, and so not surprising that we're seeing far more lightning in these storms than we saw earlier tonight, further to the north. But again, a severe thunderstorm warning does remain in effect for portions of Jefferson and Gage counties until 10:30 this evening. Primary threats, large hail upwards of 1 inch in diameter and 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts that could produce some damage in this area. I want to take you back to that live DOT camera we were keeping an eye on earlier and just show you how conditions have deteriorated there. And there you see, not the best sign as the lightning continues in the distance and in the foreground, and now some much heavier rain falling. Again, this is Highway 136 west of Harbin, so this is southeast of Beatrice, over towards Fairbury right now, as that very intense thunderstorm continues to impact that area. Or excuse me, that's Harbine. I don't know why it says Harbin there from the DOT, but that is Harbine, so apologies for that. So we're going to continue to keep an eye on this, and as you can see, some pretty intense lightning there continuing right now. Obviously, too dark to make out if any hail is falling with that rain, but as you can see, the rain is very heavy there right now, and I imagine that is the case elsewhere as well, as this thunderstorm is making its way through Jefferson and Gage counties at this hour. You can see the camera going in and out as well. We're going to go ahead and go back now to live first alert radar, as we can see that line continuing to push its way to the northeast at about 50 miles per hour now. And we're going to see if we can get another camera down by the Beatrice area. Don't think we have any in the immediate vicinity. Well, that is the best camera in that area that we got. So we're going to stick with that camera. We'll check in on that in a little bit here. For now, let's go ahead and take another look at live first alert radar. There you can see the area of the severe thunderstorm warning surrounding the Beatrice area, just east of Fairbury. Again, I do want to focus on this development up here where we do not have a warning quite yet, but still seeing plenty of stronger thunderstorms in this area. And as we throw the lightning on this, there you can see plenty of lightning in these rapidly developing storms. I believe these storms are pretty elevated because we're seeing them intensify rapidly, and then we're seeing them kind of weaken a little bit. But still, they do have a capability producing some strong wind gusts, some large hail, and as you could see in the live image from the Nebraska DOT, a lot of heavy rainfall as well as some very vivid lightning tonight. So we're going to continue to monitor this line as it makes its way through our area. Andrew over on Facebook says it's worse off Highway 8 in between Fairbury and Chester. Hail, I assume is what you meant. Hail has started. Yeah, certainly a lot of hail. Hopefully it's going to stay small there for you, Andrew, but I think that's going to be the primary threat tonight. Is going to be any production of large hail. And large hail, 1 inch in diameter, is what we consider the threshold for severe hail. That's about the size of a quarter, the width of a quarter, I should say. And that is what why that severe thunderstorm warning has been issued. Courtney on Facebook asks, any tornado threat with this for the Nebraska City area? I don't think so, Courtney. I think the threat for tornadoes at this point is very low. I don't think these storms are the type that would produce tornadoes, but obviously just as serious, the potential for strong wind gusts as well as large hail capable of producing damage is going to be a problem. We're switching over to the velocity scan here and not really seeing anything of major concern in terms of rotation. More of what we'd see along a leading edge that's kind of coalescing into a strong wind potential. But right now, based on the motion of these storms, that wind threat is somewhat isolated. And as we switch over to the hail right now, no, didn't mean to do that. Not seeing any significant hail cores at this time, but as as Andrew just mentioned, in between Fairbury and Chester, that there was hail falling there. Right now, we're not seeing strong hail detection on radar, but that doesn't mean that small hail can't be falling from these storms, and they do still have the potential of producing severe hail as well. Somebody on Facebook did just ask me about northeast Nebraska. I'm going to switch us back here to the radar. And I believe I don't know if they're still there because I've been kind of focused on the south, but there has been some showers and thunderstorms in northeast Nebraska, very isolated in nature. And based on the atmosphere up on the northern half of Nebraska, I don't think we're expecting any severe weather of any kind tonight in that area. I think right now the severe threat is very localized on the southeastern portion of Nebraska, northwest Missouri, southwest Iowa, and that is where we have the severe thunderstorm warning and now have a severe thunderstorm watch that's now in effect until 2 o'clock this morning. And the counties you see there shaded in yellow, severe thunderstorm watch tonight until 2 o'clock this morning. There you see that line of strong to severe thunderstorms that we are currently monitoring right now. And we're just keeping an eye out for any reports of, not sure if we've received any reports in that area. We have not of any large hail since these storms have fired up. Some of you are asking about Omaha. There could still be some isolated showers and thunderstorms in the Omaha metro, but right now I would say the severe threat has subsided for the night for the metro area. The threat now exists in southeast Nebraska, southwest Iowa. I would say it is largely over for our neck of the woods, fortunately for now. So no, I don't think we can expect to see any severe weather in the Omaha metro. Can't rule out an isolated shower or thunderstorm. But again, the main threat is to our south and east for tonight. And then we will begin turning our attention to tomorrow, where we could see some severe weather tomorrow afternoon in the metro area. But for now, our attention is focused rightfully on southeastern Nebraska, where we do have this severe thunderstorm warning that remains in effect until 10:30 this evening. So we are beginning to see a little bit more intensification along this line, and I'm sure the National Weather Service is keeping an eye on all of this, but we're also not getting any severe reports along this line of any significant hail so far, I should say, but obviously some very intense lightning and rain in that warned area. Let's take you back down to that area near Beatrice, and that is not correct. I apologize. We'll get it popped up here for you. No, we won't, because we lost the camera. All right, let's take you back to live first alert radar then. We'll try and get that camera back. But here are some of the areas that we're monitoring that have intensified in the last few minutes. There you see near Cook, heading up towards Nebraska City, all moving at a pretty good clip of about 50 miles per hour to the northeast. And this line stretches back. There you see our severe thunderstorm warning that remains in effect for the greater Beatrice area until 10:30 this evening as a new radar sweep comes through. Again, not really seeing anything concerning in terms of rotation. I think the primary threat now is going to be large hail. And we are still seeing some formations of some hail cores here, where we could see the potential of some 1-inch diameter hail. Again, the estimated hail sizes you see on your screen, that is a radar estimate of the hail aloft, not the hail that is falling to the ground. So again, we are getting some indications of some potential hail cores that could be up to 1 inch in diameter, especially near Cook, east of Philly, and then also in our warned area here southwest of Beatrice. In fact, I'm going to try and get that camera back up for us now and see if we can get that working. See if we can get this camera back up or if we've lost our connection to it. Looks like they may be having some signal problems, but let's see here. Now we do have it back. Again, this is near the Beatrice area where that severe thunderstorm warning is in effect right now until 10:30. This is a live picture courtesy of the Nebraska Department of Transportation. You can see that. What I was trying to see if we could see actually hail falling on the ground, but it's really hard to tell. Again, this is in kind of a night vision mode. A lot of intense lightning and rainfall. Could be some small hail falling in there, but really hard to make out on this image, as obviously because of the time of the day that the video quality is not the greatest, as it is very dark out there along those rural highways. But again, this is Highway 136 near Beatrice, where that severe thunderstorm warning is in effect right now. No indication hail is falling at this location, but still the threat of some developing hail cores in the area capable of producing hail of around 1 inch in diameter. That's about the size or the width or the width of a quarter. If you're wondering what that compares to. All right, let's go back out now live to First Alert Radar and get an update on what is happening out there. Again, very intense rainfall, as you just saw. A lot of lightning in these storms. Certainly not anything you would want to be out in right now, especially in the dark. And we're just seeing along this line of showers and thunderstorms various hail cores taking shape that could be producing some small hail, possibly reaching severe limits of around 1 inch in diameter. But so far right now, the only warning we have in effect is for the Beatrice area. That severe thunderstorm warning for Gage and Jefferson County continues until 10:30 this evening. Again, I want to thank everyone for joining us. We are streaming live right now on our 24/7 weather channel, available on Roku, as well as on our social media channels on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok even, as this line of strong to severe thunderstorms is now making its way through southeastern Nebraska, pushing into southwest Iowa right now. And you see there in Gage and Jefferson counties, we do still have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 10:30 this evening. We also have a severe thunderstorm watch that has now been issued for much of southeastern Nebraska, southwest Iowa, northwest Missouri. The severe thunderstorm watch for the counties you see there shaded in yellow will remain in effect until 2 o'clock this morning. There you see the latest image from live First Alert Radar, and let's go ahead and back this out. Actually, I want to take a closer look at this. Here's a look at the 1 hour loop, and you can see this line really beginning to fire up, and in a pretty uniform fashion. A little bit more muddled down in Kansas, but there you see the line in southeast Nebraska upwards towards this other pocket of strong thunderstorms developing near Des Moines. And I think this, and as you see, really everywhere to the east of that is where you're continuing to see the threat for severe weather. I don't expect us to see any severe weather in the Omaha metro area. Lincoln, I believe, is in the clear, as well as Norfolk. But again, these areas in the severe thunderstorm watch south and east of the metro, this is where we could still see pockets of some strong wind gusts and some large hail as we move through the next 4 hours or so. Again, I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight as we are tracking these strong thunderstorms moving through the area. And we will see how long they hold out. Right now, the Storm Prediction Center believes that this threat will continue for the next several hours as we move into your early Wednesday morning. And we will see if these will maintain their intensity. Right now, they're very elevated, but although that doesn't really produce supercells, I don't think we're going to see any kind of supercell development tonight. We're seeing these lines develop of fast-moving storms, which tells me they're largely elevated, but those elevated storms can and often do produce some large hail, and so that is the main concern. There's still a lot of energy in the atmosphere right now that is being tapped into now in southeastern Nebraska, and so we're going to see this line continue to develop and push to the northeast, right now moving at 50 miles per hour as it is moving through our area. We'll switch back over now to live first alert radar, and we'll get an update here on our warnings, see if we've got anything new from the National Weather Service on this, in fact. Did just get an update a few minutes ago. Severe thunderstorm located 4 miles southwest of Beatrice, moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. Severe thunderstorm will remain in effect until 10:30 this evening. Main threat, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. I think that's an isolated threat. And then also the potential for some large hail. I think that is going to be the primary threat with these storms tonight. As we switch this over to our hail detector. And there you can see not any, we've seen kind of this pulsing effect as these storms are moving. Right now, we're not seeing any large or damaging hail cores according to the radar, but still a lot of area. You see that clouded area both in and out of the warning. That is where we could see some pea to penny sized hail, and there's still the potential of larger hail. Once you get up to that 1-inch diameter hail, which is about the width of a quarter, that is when it's capable of putting a lot of dings and dents into anything left outside, especially vehicles. So that is why that severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for Gage and Jefferson counties until 10:30 this evening. So that severe thunderstorm warning now has about 10 minutes left to go, and it looks like the National Weather Service is going to continue that warning. Right now, we're not seeing any additional warnings being issued upstream here near the Tecumseh, Nebraska City area, but we are seeing some strong thunderstorms in this area right now that we're going to be monitoring as they are also producing some small hail cores as well. But nothing right now indicating that it's reaching the level of 1-inch diameter hail. There you see 0.8 detected, 0.7 up here south of Nebraska City, 0.6. And again, this is radar detected. So this is the radar estimated size of the hail in the atmosphere, not the hail that's reaching the ground. So that is what we're focusing on right now, and I think that's going to be the primary threat tonight, outside of some isolated strong wind gusts and a very, very small chance of an isolated tornado, but I think that risk is extremely low right now. Again, if you have any questions about these thunderstorms, or if you want to let us know where you're watching us from, especially if you're in southeast Nebraska, you can leave that in the comments on the Facebook live stream or in the chat on our YouTube live stream. Also, if you are joining us on YouTube, please make sure you subscribe to the channel, like these live feeds. It really helps us get our engagement up. And also make sure you ring that bell if you'd like to get alerts when we go live. We go live round the clock with significant weather events, breaking news events as well. Obviously, a lot of breaking news in Omaha today, and we had live coverage all over the place here on our streaming channels as we move through the afternoon, evening hours. Candy over on Facebook asked about Lincoln. No, I don't think outside of an isolated shower, maybe a thunderstorm, the severe threat is basically over tonight for the Lincoln area. This watch, and we'll pull it up here for you, this watch is right along this line that is popped up and then points to the south and east. I'll go ahead and put that on with the radar loop, and there you see the severe threat really over tonight, at least for the Lincoln and Omaha metro areas. But you could still see some showers and thunderstorms. We just don't expect any potential for large hail outside of this watch area. The watch will remain in effect until 2 o'clock this morning as these storms continue to push off it to the northeast at anywhere between 40 and 50 miles per hour, and could also potentially produce some strong wind gusts as well. But as you can see, these storms really firing up rather quickly, and we are seeing some intensification north and east of where the warning is right now for Gage and Jefferson counties. But again, I think the primary threat is going to be for some large hail, and that is going to be contained within that severe thunderstorm watch area. We could see some hail fall north of that watch area, but I really don't think it's going to be any significant concern as these storms make their way to the north and east, again at about 40 to 50 miles per hour. All right, let's go back now to live first alert radar as we're keeping an eye on this portion of this line of thunderstorms developing. And I know this isn't in the warned area, but really concerned about the development going on here between Nebraska City and Tecumseh. I can't imagine that people there aren't seeing a prolific amount of lightning. In fact, let's go ahead and pop that up here, and we'll zoom back in on that area. And boy, you can see a lot of lightning there. In fact, if we just, that's probably a little bit too far. If we see if we can't, in this area, look at that, over 300 lightning strikes reported in the last 30 minutes or so. So very vivid lightning in these storms right now as they continue to push off to the north and east between 40 and 50 miles per hour. We'll go back now to our live radar and continue to focus in on this area. I'm going to see if we can find some other cameras down there. Maybe look at some of the areas now that are not under a severe thunderstorm warning, but certainly look like they're getting a very, very healthy thunderstorm, to say the least. Okay, we're going to take this one. I believe we do have a camera available in the Nebraska City area. Okay, it looks like this one is going to work, and it looks like they are moving it around here a little bit on us, so it may not give us as good of an image as we had hoped. But let's go ahead and we'll get out to this live camera. This is, again, in the Nebraska City area, and it looks like we just lost our focus on it. But seeing some pretty intense lightning in that area right now. Rain is falling, not seeing any hail falling on the ground. Fortunately, this is a northbound between Highway 2 and 75, so it's a little bit better lit, so we get a little bit better definition here, but I don't know who's moving the camera around. That is not us, but I'd like to see a better image there as we're getting a lot of, there you see that vivid lightning now falling as we're looking. I believe this is eastbound that we're looking, or at least in the eastern direction, so hopefully shielding the camera a bit from the rain. You see they're falling in the lamps there. Again, this is Highway 75. This is near Nebraska City. No warning in effect for this area right now, but a very intense thunderstorm passing over that area right now. So we're going to continue to keep an eye on that as we move through the next couple of hours here for any signs of additional development. All right, let's go back now live to First Alert Radar and get an update on the motion of these storms. There you see that hail core still east of Beatrice. Let's go ahead and check that out, and then I want to head back up to Nebraska City here. And there you see that potential hail core, hopefully now east of the Beatrice area. See if we're getting any indication of large hail. Probably at most penny-sized hail in this area, but obviously, although not really capable of doing any significant damage to anything, it certainly can still make a lot of noise if you're trying to sleep, unfortunately. So that is what we're seeing out of that core now down in the Beatrice area, as that severe thunderstorm warning is set to expire now in about 2 minutes. For Gage and Jefferson counties. Now, up by Nebraska City, we are seeing a bit of a hail core as well. Andrew, over on our YouTube channel, says, I live in Nebraska City. We just had some small hail. Yeah, Andrew, that's kind of what we were wondering about with this, so thanks for that report. But pea to penny-sized hail certainly possible inside these storms, and that is where we're seeing, this is the estimated hail size according to the radar, and really we're just not... Oops, that is not what I wanted. Apologies. Fortunately, we're not seeing any major hail, but possibly that pea to penny-sized hail certainly possible as these storms continue to push off to the north and east. So far, we will switch back over to live first alert radar here, and I will try and get this confirmed. I don't believe we have received any reports of large hail from our severe thunderstorm. Well, I spoke too soon. Beatrice has a report. 1-inch diameter hail was reported in Beatrice about 10 minutes ago. This was Spotter reporting a quarter-sized hail in Beatrice, estimated to have fallen about 10 minutes ago. Again, this is in Beatrice, where that severe thunderstorm warning is set to expire here in just about a minute, and we will watch and see if the National Weather Service decides to extend that further. Would not be surprised if they do, now that we've had a confirmed report of 1-inch diameter hail, unfortunately in the town of Beatrice. And there you see we do have a new warning that has just now been issued. Severe thunderstorm warning for that hail core that just produced 1-inch diameter hail in the city of Beatrice has now been issued. Here is the information you need. Severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for portions of Gage and Johnson County until 11:15 this evening. This does include the communities of Crab Orchard, Philly, Sterling, and Vesta. Primary threats, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and the more potential threat is with that hail core that now does have a history of producing 1-inch diameter hail, or about the width of a quarter. So severe thunderstorm warning just issued for Gage and Johnson counties until 11:15 this evening. Primary threat is for 1-inch diameter hail, and also the potential of some strong wind gusts upwards of 60 miles per hour. We're going to zoom the radar out a little bit here for you and give you a better look at that. Still monitoring the area up by Nebraska City, where we did just hear from Andrew that some small hail was falling there as well. But again, now getting a confirmed report from this cell as it passed over Beatrice of 1-inch diameter hail. Unfortunately, 1-inch diameter hail certainly capable of producing damage in that area. We're going to zoom out the radar a little bit here. And get our bearings back, because there you see that line that is developed, again, now stretching from Shenandoah southwest towards Nebraska City, heading into Tecumseh, and back towards Beatrice, where 1-inch diameter hail was reported about 15 minutes ago. Here's our image here is not working, so let me see if I can get the radar back up here. There we go. So there is that new severe thunderstorm warning. That replaces the warning that was just in effect for Gage and Jefferson counties. This is now for Gage and Johnson County until 11:15 this evening. There you see right over Beatrice that 1-inch diameter hail report that came in about 15 minutes ago. Hopefully, if you're joining us from the Beatrice area, you had your cars sheltered and any other sensitive items outside. And hopefully that was a relatively isolated area hit by that large hail, as to not cause too much damage in that area. But again, that is going to be the primary threat we're seeing tonight as these thunderstorms continue to push off to the northeast at anywhere between 40 and 50 miles per hour. Hail appears to be the primary threat right now with these storms as they continue to push off and through southwest Iowa and southeast Nebraska. Real quick, let's go back out now live to Nebraska City, where again, this is not a severe thunderstorm warned cell, but does give us a little bit of pause just because of what we're seeing on the radar that some small hail could be falling. This is along Highway 75 near Nebraska City. There you see the rain falling and that intense lightning in the area. Again, you're looking at a live picture near Nebraska City where the rain is falling and the intense lightning continues in that area. We're seeing hundreds of lightning strikes across southeast Nebraska now just within the last half hour. And that is going to continue now. As again, severe thunderstorm watch does continue tonight until 2 o'clock in the morning for southeastern Nebraska, southwestern Iowa, northwest Missouri. Back out live now to First Alert Radar. There you see the severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for Gage and Johnson counties until 11:15 this morning. And that is the portion of the storm that does have a history of producing large hail. 1-inch hail reported a short time ago in Beatrice, as you see the icon there on your screen. That storm continues to move off to the northeast at about 45 miles per hour. And although we could see some large or some strong damaging winds, it appears the primary threat now is going to be large hail as we move through the next few hours here. All right, let's go ahead and zoom in on that warned area. I want to take a look at what this storm is producing here. There you see the latest velocity scans. There is some leading edge rotation here. That doesn't mean that a tornado is going to happen, but if anything were to spin up, it would be on the weaker side. But we could see some stronger wind gusts, but right now I think the primary threat that we're looking at is that large hail. There you see the latest scan. Right now, not detecting anything in terms of significant hail, but we did get that 1-inch hail report from Beatrice. Right now, radar detecting the max hail size at about 0.6 inches aloft. That's not hitting the ground, but obviously that's a pretty large area where we could be seeing some pea to penny sized hail in association with this warned storm. Otherwise, the other thing we see here is all of that lightning. In fact, let's just take a look at this one cell, this one warned area, already experiencing heavy thunderstorms throughout. Just within the last half hour or so, nearly 100 lightning strikes with this cell alone. And that is the number of strikes hitting the ground. So very, very intense lightning associated with these storms as they continue to push off to the northeast at about 45 miles per hour. Let's go ahead and back out now and get a wider view of this line of showers and thunderstorms as it continues to push off to the northeast. There you see Nebraska City as it is crossing into southwest Iowa. Let's zoom in on that area. There you see that potential hail core there as well. And not getting any intense reports of hail, but we did have, as we said, Andrew reporting about small hail in Nebraska City. Certainly a possibility as this strong thunderstorm pushes through the area. Right now, radar detecting hail aloft of about penny-sized, which is below severe limits. But right now, that is now crossing the Missouri River, heading over the I-29 corridor off towards southwest Iowa. The Sidney area would be next in line for that strong thunderstorm in that area. Switching back now over to the live radar, we'll back out now. Somebody on YouTube said you mean 11:15 tonight. I don't know what I said, but if I said the wrong time, I apologize. Sometimes it's hard to keep track of exactly what time it is. But yes, severe thunderstorm warning does remain in effect until 11:15 this evening for Gage and Johnson counties in southeastern Nebraska. This is the area where there's been a confirmed report now of 1-inch hail. There you see the icon over Beatrice right now. That 1-inch diameter hail falling about a half hour ago, and we're still seeing some other strong pockets. So if you're in Beatrice, if you're watching us in Beatrice or that area right now, you're not out of the woods yet, as another strong thunderstorm is coming in, and even if it doesn't produce large hail, it's going to be more intense rainfall, and as well as at least some small hail, as small hail is very prolific inside these thunderstorms, and occasionally reaching that severe threshold of 1-inch diameter hail. further to our west, more thunderstorms are beginning to develop in northern Kansas. No warnings on those yet, but this is what we're going to be watching over the next several hours for the far southeastern portion of our viewing area as these storms continue to move to the northeast, again at anywhere between 40 and 50 miles per hour. You do see this one hail report northwest of York. That was from earlier this evening. That was not a severe hail report, but that was with a thunderstorm that moved through our area earlier this evening but didn't produce any severe weather. Again, the severe thunderstorm watch remains in effect for portions of northwest Missouri, southeast Nebraska, southwest Iowa until 2 o'clock this morning. For the counties you see there shaded in yellow, that severe thunderstorm watch. Primary threat is going to be large hail, upwards of 1 inch in diameter or more, possibly some isolated 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and a very, very isolated chance of a brief tornado. But I think at this point, large hail is going to be the primary threat with us tonight. Also, some very prolific lightning in these storms, as you see there. And as we've shown you on the DOT cams, a lot of lightning with these storms. And really, this is just a line that is just kind of lighting up. Unfortunately, for portions of central and eastern Iowa that spent much of the day under a tornado watch, they are now under a severe thunderstorm watch for the overnight. As you see this line right here kind of developing all the way from Iowa through Missouri, Nebraska, and back towards Kansas. But again, the primary threat is going to be large hail. We could see the wind threat kind of ramp up if these storms begin to move a little more easterly or southeasterly. But right now, I think the primary threat with these is going to be that large hail as they push through our area. Let's go back and check out that hail scans, and there you see a lot of radar detecting small hail along this line of thunderstorms, those cloudy gray areas you see there inside and outside the warned area. I still think that's going to be the primary threat for us tonight. And there you see right now what the radar is estimating right along that corridor has the greatest threat right now for some hail approaching 1 inch in diameter. All right, let's go back now to live first alert radar as we continue our coverage of this severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Gage and Johnson counties until 11:15 tonight. This will continue to move off to the north and east. Let me see if we have an update from the National Weather Service here. Nope, no update on this yet. The last report was the severe thunderstorm was moving northeast at 45 miles per hour, was at the time 10 miles east of Beatrice. That report now about 15 minutes old. Should be getting an update on this warning from the National Weather Service shortly, but again, it does remain in effect until 11:15 this evening. Again, I want to thank everyone that's joining us on our social media channels. We're also streaming live on our 24/7 weather channel available on your Roku device. And we are streaming on our website as well as the severe thunderstorm warning continues until 11:15 this evening for Gage and Johnson counties. And we see this line of strong to severe thunderstorms that is fired up rather quickly in the southeastern portion of our viewing area. And so we are keeping a close watch on this for anybody who may have already headed to bed and thought maybe that they were going to avoid the thunderstorms and maybe got woken up. And I imagine a lot of people are either getting woken up or being kept up because there is a lot of lightning in these thunderstorms. So very prolific lightning producers, and certainly I'm probably not alone in having a little difficulty sleeping through some noisy thunderstorms in the middle of the night. So we'll get you through it here if you want to know what's going on. We're going to continue monitoring this line as long as these thunderstorms are pushing through the warned area and try and get you the best information available on what is happening as they move through. But again, I do want to stress, I know if you're joining us from the Omaha metro area, you're probably wondering why we're not talking about Omaha. This is all south and east of the metro area, as well as the I-80 corridor and the Lincoln metro area. We don't expect any severe weather. Can't rule out an isolated shower or thunderstorm. But again, the bulk of the threat now is well to the south and east of the metro areas and more focused now on southeast Nebraska and southwest Iowa as well. I'm going to see if we can get another traffic camera in this area. Let's see what we got out there. We don't have any near Tecumseh. I think Nebraska City is still our best bet right now. Let's see if we can get another camera working here. I also want to apologize. We don't have our what we call our locator graphics telling you where these camera images are coming from. Not sure why that's not popping up, but it doesn't look like it wants to cooperate with us tonight. But that's okay. We can still talk our way through it here. All right, let's see if we get this image back. I think this is still our best image right now in anywhere around these thunderstorms. This is a live look at the Nebraska City area. This is Highway 75 northbound near Nebraska City, and you can see that intense lightning not only in the foreground but in the background as well. No indication that any hail has fallen in this area, but we have heard some reports of small hail in the Nebraska City area, and then of course the one severe report of 1-inch diameter hail in Beatrice earlier this evening as these storms fired up. But again, even if there's no warning, even if you don't experience any severe weather, obviously a lot of heavy rainfall and of that very intense lightning out there is certainly going to produce a lot of noise as we move through the next several hours. All right, let's come back out live now to First Alert Radar, and there you see that severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 11:15 tonight for portions of Gage and Johnson counties as we continue moving through these next few hours. Let's see if we've got an update now. No update yet from the National Weather Service. I do want to remind you that this is kind of on the western edge of this new severe thunderstorm watch that has been issued for the counties you see shaded in yellow. This does include Nebraska City, Beatrice, Shenandoah, Rockport, Falls City, Maryville, Red Oak as well. This will remain in effect until 2 o'clock this morning as this line of showers and thunderstorms continues to push through the area. Other than the hail, we're seeing a lot of prolific lightning in these thunderstorms as well. Hundreds of lightning strikes an hour hitting the ground from Beatrice up to Nebraska City. And certainly this area is also going to be in line for some pretty intense rainfall. And with these storms kind of training on one another, that's going to raise the specter that we could perhaps see some flash flooding later this evening that we're going to have to keep an eye out for. But right now the focus is on the potential for large hail. And the main focus right now is that area east of Beatrice in Gage and Johnson counties tonight, where that severe thunderstorm watch remains in effect until 11:15 this evening. We also have some other thunderstorms coming in from the Kansas area coming across the Nebraska border. So if you're in Beatrice and you had some large hail and you think finally we're getting a break, unfortunately there is the potential of more showers and thunderstorms in the next hour or two for you. So it is going to be a very noisy night in southeastern Nebraska as these storms continue to push off to the northeast at anywhere between 40 to 50 miles per hour. Over on Facebook, Michelle says the wind is starting to pick up in Sydney. Yeah, there's certainly going to be some strong gusts with these storms, Michelle. Right now, we're not getting any reports of any severe destructive wind gusts, but there is still the potential of some gusts reaching about 60 miles per hour that can cause damage. But hopefully, we will see that as a very minimal threat tonight. As so far, the only severe reports we've received have been involving some small to large hail across this line of showers and thunderstorms. Martin over on Facebook asks, what is the purple in the storm? Well, Martin, this is what we call a reflectivity scan. And so what the reflectivity is trying to determine is the intensity of the precipitation. So the stronger the precipitation, the stronger the returns. So really what purple is signaling is very intense precipitation, but what that can also signal is possibly a hail core. Because the hail is much more dense than liquid water, and so that can give us these returns of incredible rainfall rates when in fact it's hail aloft in the storm. So those purple areas are where we try and look for hail cores, and it doesn't guarantee that they're there, but that is just a very intense return on radar that gives us an indication of either some incredible rainfall or the potential of some hail that is developing in the storm system. Now, that doesn't mean that hail will come down to the ground, but we have seen several reports of anywhere from pea-sized to quarter-sized hail with these storms as they've developed over the last hour or so. And so those are the pockets that we generally see those, where we see that purple area, just because that's the strongest return that the radar is receiving on the reflectivity scan. Again, severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect for areas of Gage and Johnson counties until 11:15 this evening. Have not received an update yet from the National Weather Service. No update yet on this. Have not seen any new storm reports since the 1-inch hail report in Beatrice about 45 minutes ago, I believe that was reported. And then we do have this line stretching all the way up northeast to Nebraska City, upwards towards Shenandoah, and we're getting reports of some small hail falling in those areas as well. Fortunately, though, very isolated report, one report, in fact, of 1-inch diameter hail. Hopefully that trend will continue. But even if we don't see any severe weather, as we said, some very intense rainfall in these storms. And unfortunately, when we put this in motion, that is the severe thunderstorm watch first that's in effect until 2 o'clock this morning. But as we put this in motion, there you see the prolific lightning along with that intense rainfall in these areas. You see a severe thunderstorm warning now posted just southwest of our area. I'll go ahead and get the information on that here real quick. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Thayer County until 11:30 this evening. That severe thunderstorm warning just outside of our area. And now we have this new severe thunderstorm warning. This is for, I'm going to go ahead and pull this back up full screen so you can get a better look at it. This is a new severe thunderstorm warning that has now been posted for, I may have lost my computer here, for the areas including Hamburg, Sydney, and Shenandoah. This severe thunderstorm warning, may have lost my connection here. Let me get that back real quick before I give any wrong details on this. Okay, we may have a bit of a computer snafu, so I'm going to get that taken care of here. But we do have this new severe thunderstorm warning over in western Iowa now. And I apologize here if we lose the image. Hopefully we will not. Yeah, we're going to lose the image. Let me get that. I'll try and get our DOT. Oh, no, I can't get the DOT camera back up. Just bear with me here a moment. I know the image is black. I do apologize for that. I'll get something up there right now so we can get this image back up for you. Technology is always a blessing and a curse, isn't it? All right, I think we got everything back up. So let's go back now live to First Alert Radar, and we'll show you that new severe thunderstorm warning that has now been issued over in western Iowa. There you see, after crossing over from Nebraska City, severe thunderstorm warning is in effect until, just want to make some room here. There we go. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 11:30 tonight for Fremont and Page counties in southwest Iowa. This does include the communities of Essex, Hamburg, Shenandoah, and Sydney. National Weather Service says a severe thunderstorm is located over Riverton, 14 miles east of Nebraska City, and it is moving to the northeast at 40 miles per hour. Again, primary threats, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, 1-inch diameter hail, or about the width of a quarter. This is radar indicated. This is not confirmed, but a severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for Fremont and Page counties until 11:30 this evening. All right, let's take a closer look at what we're dealing with here. Again, just briefly keeping an eye on the velocities out there, not really seeing anything indicating any rotation or any very significant wind gusts, although we are getting some potential of some wind gusts upwards of about 20 or 60 miles per hour, I should say. Here we see the latest hail scan, and really not seeing these have been largely isolated pockets of larger hail that develop from time to time. And right here, just south of Highway 2, south of Sydney, well, it doesn't want to give me the hail, unfortunately, because it's hidden in there. So let's try it a different way. Let's see if we can get that back up. So right now, radar is indicating about 0.8 of an inch diameter hail. That would be below severe limits. But again, these storms are developing and weakening so rapidly that it's not uncommon for these to still produce 1-inch diameter hail. But right now, that hail core is south of Sydney, right along Highway 2. We do have another hail core further to the southwest that is approaching that 1-inch diameter mark. No warning on that at this time, but we are keeping an eye on that, of course. As we go back to live, or actually first, there's the severe thunderstorm watch in effect until 2 o'clock this morning. Here we see the warnings now in effect. We have 2 in effect now in Nebraska, 1 in western Iowa. That will continue. The thunderstorm warning east of Beatrice for Gage and Johnson counties will continue until 11:15, and our thunderstorm warning for the Shenandoah area in southwestern Iowa will continue until 11:30 this evening. Over on Facebook, Charles says, seeing a good lightning show to the north and west here in Auburn. Yeah, that has certainly been the most notable aspect of these thunderstorms, especially at night when it's a lot easier to see the lightning. But very prolific lightning producers as they continue to push off to the northeast at anywhere between 35 and 45 miles per hour. But yeah, a lot of lightning that we've been picking up on the DOT cams as they continue to push off to the northeast tonight. Nebraska City near Highway 75, where we have another strong thunderstorm heading for that area after one has already passed through. Unfortunately, these storms are kind of training on one another, so we are going to have to watch out for the potential of flash flooding later this evening into the early morning hours as this continues to push off to the north and east. So again, you're looking at a live picture courtesy of the Nebraska Department of Transportation. This is coming to us from the Nebraska City area as these storms continue to push off to the northeast at anywhere between 35 and 45 miles per hour. All right, let's go back out live now to First Alert Radar as we continue to follow these severe thunderstorms pushing through southeastern Nebraska and southwestern Iowa. We do have that strong thunderstorm now heading for the Tecumseh area. Going to switch over to velocity here real quick. Again, possibly along the southeastern edge of this, are we seeing the potential of some stronger wind gusts on what we would call the leading edge of this storm. But right now, I'd say the primary threat that we're dealing with is the potential for some large hail. We're getting some higher hail estimates on radar now, south of Nebraska City, over north of Hamburg in southwest Iowa. And still getting some pockets of small hail detection west of Tecumseh, where that severe thunderstorm warning does remain in effect. Hopefully, most of the hail that falls tonight will stay below severe limits, because we really don't want to see any widespread damage out of any of this as these storms continue on their path through southeast Nebraska, northwest Missouri, southwest Iowa over the next 3 to 4 hours. So let's see if we've got any updates on these severe thunderstorm warnings. First, severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Gage and Johnson County until 11:15 tonight. At 10:53, or about 4 minutes ago, a severe thunderstorm was located along a line extending from 3 miles east of Beatrice to 6 miles northeast of Crab Orchard to 4 miles southeast of Cook, all moving to the east at 45 miles per hour. These storms do have a history of producing quarter-sized hail. That was reported in Beatrice earlier this evening. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Fremont and Page counties until 11:30 this evening. This does include the communities of Essex, Hamburg, Shenandoah, and Sydney. Again, for the potential of hail upwards of 1 inch in diameter, as well as quarter-sized hail. So far, no confirmed reports of severe weather in association with this portion of the storm, but again, the potential does exist. So a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Fremont and Page counties until 11:30 this evening. So far, no update on this warning yet. This is the newest warning that's been issued, but we'll, when we get new information from the Weather Service, we'll, of course, pass that along to you. Again, I want to thank everyone that's joining us live on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Twitch, on our 24/7 streaming channel, as well as on our website for this live coverage of severe weather in southeastern Nebraska as we are pushing into the 11 o'clock hour. Severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for the area boxed in there in yellow. The area between Beatrice and Tecumseh, severe thunderstorm warning for Gage and Johnson counties until 11:15 this evening. And then in western Iowa, severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect for Fremont and Page counties until 11:30 this evening. Again, the primary threat for these with these storms does appear to be large hail, but there is still the possibility of some strong damaging winds and a very isolated chance of a tornado. But we are keeping an eye out for any indication of that. So far, it doesn't appear that there's any sign that any kind of tornado is developing in these storms. But again, it does remain a very isolated possibility. As we take a look at the latest hail scan, we're getting some more concerning signs here with this hail core in western Iowa, southeast of Sydney. Radar detecting hail size possibly above 1 inch in diameter now. Now, I want to again stress that that detection is for hail aloft in the storm, not the hail that's falling to the ground. So, but the potential does still exist of 1 inch diameter hail with this severe thunderstorm warned storm that is heading very close to the Shenandoah area within the next 30 minutes. So otherwise, other than the hail, very intense rain and also very intense lightning. This is all of the lightning being reported in this one storm. And that is kind of what we've been seeing throughout the night. Here's a look at all of the lightning that's being produced over the last 30 minutes or so. Just very, very intense display of lightning as these storms quickly fired up a couple of hours ago and are just running along this line from south central Nebraska upwards towards Beatrice, Tecumseh, Nebraska City, and Shenandoah, as well as additional thunderstorms now developing to the east of this line in far southwest Iowa, southwest of Creston, that we'll obviously be keeping an eye out for. But overall, the greatest threat tonight is for that large hail with a potential risk of some strong damaging wind gusts as well. Again, if you have any questions for us, feel free to share them in our chat on YouTube, in the comments section of this live stream, on our Facebook page. We'd be happy to answer them for you. For those of you just joining us from the Omaha metro area, I do want to stress that right now, they're outside of an isolated shower, maybe a thunderstorm. There is no threat for severe weather for the metro area. This is all to the south and to the east. In fact, as we zoom out here and you see that area in yellow there, that is the severe thunderstorm watch that is in effect until 2 o'clock this tomorrow morning, I should say, soon to be this morning, and that is well south and east of Omaha. So isolated shower or thunderstorm for the metro area through the early morning hours. But again, the severe threat right now for tonight is contained to the southeast third of our viewing area. And then we will have to discuss the potential for severe weather in the metro area tomorrow afternoon. But right now, our focus is on the active severe weather to our south and east here in Nebraska and Iowa. Go back out live now to First Alert Radar, and you see the warnings continuing. We'll check and see if we've got an update on our Iowa warning here. Yes, just a minute ago. Severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect for Fremont and Page counties. The severe thunderstorm was located over Farragut, or 20 miles east of Nebraska City, moving to the northeast at 40 miles per hour. It looks like we did get a report of 1-inch diameter hail from local spotters. That report coming in about 10 minutes ago. Quarter-sized hail reported 5 miles north of Hamburg. There you see Hamburg right there in the lower portion of your screen. 1-inch diameter hail reported near Hamburg about 15 minutes ago. So this storm now has a history of producing quarter-sized hail as it is pushing off to the east. If we take a look at that hail scan right now, we do have a hail core there that's indicating a hail upwards of about 1 inch in diameter in that area shaded in blue, embedded in the storm. And so that is what is likely fallen to the ground within the last 10 or 15 minutes. And that is now moving into the Shenandoah area of western Iowa. Switch over now back to the radar. Just a quick check of velocity. Not really seeing anything concerning in terms of rotation, but we are getting some indications of some stronger wind gusts on the leading edge of this. So that is kind of the secondary threat tonight is those leading edge, just brief wind gusts that are capable of producing damage. But right now it appears the primary threat with these storms is going to be that large hail. There you see the 2 severe thunderstorm warnings. We still have an effect in our area. We're also monitoring this connected line of strong to severe thunderstorms now pushing out of Kansas, coming in that could impact the Beatrice area again, unfortunately, where they've already seen 1-inch diameter hail tonight. So the threat across the entire watch area, which is basically this line of showers and thunderstorms and points south and east, all under a severe thunderstorm watch until 2 o'clock tomorrow morning. Martin over on Facebook asked, how fast is the storm moving? Well, it does appear to be slowing down a little bit right now, depending on the particular cell. The National Weather Service is estimating these storms are moving anywhere between 35 and 45 miles per hour. So that is kind of what we're going with, but it does vary from storm to storm. But right now, I'd say 35 to 45 miles per hour is the safest estimate as these storms continue to push off to the north and east. So again, those are the severe thunderstorm warnings we continue to monitor right now. Hopefully we will see these storms start to weaken, but right now they are maintaining their intensity, especially those potential hail cores, especially this one now approaching the Shenandoah area of southwest Iowa. A pretty decent sized hail core in that one right now. I'm going to see if we can actually switch over to the Iowa Department of Transportation and see what's going on with that storm, if we've got any cameras in that area. Just bear with me a little bit here, and I'll see if we can find a camera in that general area. The one good thing with many of these thunderstorms is they are largely over some rural areas, so hopefully if these hail cores can remain relatively small and contained, we won't see a lot of widespread damage with these. No, I don't think we have any cameras in that area, unfortunately. The only cameras I'm finding near these storms in Iowa are along the I-29 corridor, and the warned portion of the storm is largely pushed east of that area. So those cameras are not going to do us a whole lot of good right now. No, not seeing any useful cameras in that area right now, unfortunately. So that again, just again reminds we do appreciate the reports that we've had coming in from some of you of the hail that you've seen falling in your area, and obviously is very appreciated. Especially at this late hour, it's really hard to make out what we call the ground truth is with these storms. But obviously, it still appears that hail will be the primary threat with these storms as we move through the overnight hours, as we've now passed the 11 o'clock hour here. But again, severe thunderstorm warnings do continue, and unfortunately, they could continue for some time as this watch does remain in effect until 2 o'clock. Over on YouTube, one of you are asking, what about Des Moines? Des Moines is also under this severe thunderstorm watch. I'll go ahead and pull that up for you here. There you see the severe thunderstorm watch that's in effect for our area. And then, well, actually, I take that back. No, Des Moines is not in this severe thunderstorm watch. They're just outside of it. I know it's not labeled on our map here, but this is the Des Moines area over in central Iowa. Could still see some strong to severe thunderstorms in the Des Moines metro area, but not under this watch. I would imagine the hope is that these storms will push south of the Des Moines area before they reach there. But again, that doesn't mean it's going to be a dry overnight for the Des Moines area. Just the greatest threat for severe weather is going to be the south and east of that metro area, where you see that severe thunderstorm watch, the county shaded in yellow until 2 o'clock. Tomorrow morning. Let's go ahead and go back live now to First Alert Radar and get the latest scan as we are continuing to monitor these showers and thunderstorms that have developed across the area. If anybody is watching us in Beatrice right now, I have some terrible news. You have a new severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued. As you see by that icon, they did experience some 1-inch diameter hail in that area earlier tonight. Severe thunderstorm warning now issued for Gage, Jefferson, and Saline counties until midnight tonight, or I should say midnight tomorrow morning. This does include Beatrice, DeWitt, Fairbury, and Plymouth among the communities in this rather large severe thunderstorm warning box that has just been issued. So severe thunderstorm warning that does include Beatrice and Gage and Jefferson counties now in effect until midnight. That hail report you see there, that was from the storms that have pushed off to the north and east over by Tecumseh that did produce 1-inch diameter hail earlier tonight in Beatrice. Now that potential exists yet again for that area. At 11:08, severe thunderstorm was located along a line extending 4 miles southeast of Alexandria to near Jansen to 4 miles southeast of Harbine, moving northeast at 50 miles per hour. The primary threat will be 1-inch diameter hail, or about the width of a quarter, and some isolated possibility of a strong wind gust in excess of 60 miles per hour. This storm will be near Beatrice, Plymouth, and Dakin around 11:15, DeWitt, Western, and Pickrell, as well as Swanton around 11:25 this evening. So again, severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for Gage and Jefferson counties until midnight tonight. We'll go ahead and back the radar out now so you can see what we're dealing with here. So there you see all of the warnings now in effect all along this line of thunderstorms where we have this new severe thunderstorm warning in effect. I know that storm doesn't look as potent as some of those in western Iowa, but we can chalk that up to distance from the radar scan, as obviously there's a great concern of additional reports of large hail. And as this portion of the storm has accelerated a bit, in fact, let's see here. Weather instruments measured about 20 minutes ago in Mahaska of a wind gust around 58 miles per hour. That was a weather instrument measuring that. So could be an additional concern with of a strong wind threat in that area. Here you see we have a new severe thunderstorm being issued. Let me pull up the information on this one for you, as this one just came up on the screen. This is, I believe, in far northwest Missouri. over by Rockport, Westboro, and Brownville. We'll get the official information here. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect until midnight for Atchison County. This does include Watson and Westboro. Again, this is until midnight tonight in northwestern Missouri at 11:11. Severe thunderstorm was located along a line extending from near Hamburg to near Brock, Elk Creek, moving to the east at 25 miles per hour. This will impact the areas of Interstate 29 between mile markers 111 and 123. So severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for Atchison County in northwest Missouri until midnight tonight. So a whole host of severe thunderstorm warnings now in effect across our viewing areas. We zoom out here. We have one in Missouri, one in Iowa, two in Nebraska, actually three, but two in our viewing area, as this line of strong to severe thunderstorms continues to train through southeastern Nebraska, southwestern Iowa, and northwest Missouri. Besides the threat for severe weather, obviously producing a lot of intense lightning in these storms, and also getting a lot of heavy rainfall, which could produce some concerns for flash flooding as we continue moving through the evening and overnight hours. All right, we are going to continue to monitor all of these as the severe thunderstorm warnings continue to pile up across the area now, as we are moving into your Wednesday morning, where we are dealing with this severe weather threat here in the early morning hours, and do have the potential of a new severe weather threat across portions of Nebraska and Iowa Wednesday afternoon. We will hopefully get an update on that around 1 o'clock this morning. I would like to say we won't be with you at that time, but right now it looks like these strong to severe thunderstorms are going to continue for a while now. And so we will, if we do get that update while we are streaming, we will certainly pass that along to you. We're going to go ahead and go back to our camera southwest of Beatrice and see what we can make out from this new severe thunderstorm warning that's now in effect. And doesn't look like the image wants to cooperate. Trying to cooperate, but there you see kind of what we saw with the last severe thunderstorm in this area. A lot of lightning, a lot of rain. Not seeing any hail falling. It is hard to make out with this being so dark right now, but there you see the heavy rain that's falling once again. This is southwest of Beatrice, where a severe thunderstorm warning now in effect until midnight tonight. If not producing strong winds or large hail, certainly producing some very intense rainfall over an area that's already seen intense rainfall, and so there will be some concerns tonight for some localized flash flooding that we'll have to keep an eye out for. So if you are awake and you're experiencing a lot of thunderstorms, maybe check and make sure that sump pump is running, as more heavy rainfall is going to be falling over the same area, at least over the next 2 to 4 hours. All right, let's go back live now to First Alert Radar as we continue to monitor this line of severe thunderstorms moving through our area at this late hour. There you see that new severe thunderstorm warning, which does include Beatrice until midnight tonight. Severe thunderstorm warning for the Tecumseh area has now expired. We have not seen a new warning replace it. And then we also have our severe thunderstorm warning for far southwestern Iowa in effect until 11:30, and our new severe thunderstorm warning in the Rockport area of northwestern Missouri in effect until midnight tonight. And right on cue, Beatrice area that we just showed you, there we have a new flash flood warning now in effect. This does not include Beatrice. This is, I believe, east of there. This is Johnson, Nemaha, and Otoe counties. This includes the communities of Cook, Crab Orchard, and Talmadge. A flash flood warning now in effect until 2:15 this morning. See if we can get some additional information here for you. This does include northern Johnson County, western Nemaha, and south central Otoe County until 2:15 this morning. At 11:16, so just a minute ago, trained weather spotters reported thunderstorms producing heavy rain across this warned area. Between 2 and 3 inches of rain have already fallen, and additional rainfall amounts of up to an inch are possible in the warned area. Flash flooding is likely already occurring in this area. This has been confirmed by trained spotters in the area. The greatest impacts will be flash flooding of small creeks and streams, urban areas, highways, streets, and underpasses, as well as any other poor drainage and low-lying areas. So a flash flood warning now in effect for the area you see there in that green box. This does include the communities of Cook, Talmadge, Crab Orchard, St. Mary, and Vesta. Flash flood warning in effect until 2:15 this morning. If you know anybody that may be venturing out in this area, I cannot stress enough that any amount of water going over a roadway can take a car if it is flowing. So that old adage, turn around, don't drown, is very prescient, as flash flooding is often one of the severe weather threats that we don't think about in relation to hail, wind, and tornadoes, but can be very serious and very deadly for anybody venturing out in an area where flash flooding is occurring. So flash flood warning in effect for Johnson, Nemaha, and Otoe counties until 2:15 tomorrow morning. All right, let's go ahead and back the radar out again, as we now have that flash flood warning where that severe thunderstorm warning had just expired. We do still have severe thunderstorm warnings for far southwestern Iowa, far northwestern Missouri, and now our new severe thunderstorm warning for the Beatrice area in southern Nebraska until midnight tonight. I know we're getting a lot of people asking about the Omaha metro area, and I'm sure you're all just joining us, and we do appreciate that. I do want to stress that the severe threat has subsided for the metro area tonight. We could still see some isolated showers and thunderstorms as we move through the overnight hours, but this severe weather threat is going to stay to the south and east of the metro area. If we zoom the radar out here, this is the severe thunderstorm watch now in effect until 2 o'clock in the morning. And as you can see, this is well south of the Omaha metro area, as well as the Lincoln area. Again, can't rule out some showers and thunderstorms overnight, but don't expect any severe weather for the large metro areas here in eastern Nebraska. But again, that severe thunderstorm watch remains in effect for the counties shaded in yellow until 2 o'clock this morning, or tomorrow morning, I should say. All right, back out live now to First Alert Radar. There you see that potent line of showers and thunderstorms, and really stretching. In fact, let's go ahead and throw the loop on this, and you can see just how far this stretches. As additional thunderstorms now developing east of Des Moines, stretching from the Vinton area in eastern Iowa, and then you see that gap, and then that line continuing here in southwest Iowa, southeast Nebraska as well, all the way back into northern Kansas, all along the severe thunderstorm watch. And various warnings along this stretch here of severe thunderstorm warnings. And then now you see that area shaded in green near Tecumseh, where we have a flash flood warning that has now been issued as these storms continue to push off. Seeing some indications of some southerly movement in these that might indicate a greater threat in the hours ahead of some strong winds. That would hopefully alleviate some of the hail concerns. But again, as long as these storms are still training over the same area, we're going to see that flash flooding risk, and that's why that flash flood warning was issued. But just checking the patterns here, getting a little bit more southerly development from these warned areas, which could indicate a greater potential over the next hour or so of some strong winds. Taking a look at seeing some stronger wind gusts in our velocity scans here. These are the radar detected wind speeds, and we are seeing some indications of some stronger wind gusts embedded in these storms. So could see a greater risk now of some stronger winds if they push a little bit further to the south, but that hail risk does still remain as we see that hail core in the Shenandoah area, some very small hail cores, say south of Tecumseh. And again, now these new hail cores around the Fairbury area heading for Beatrice that have triggered this severe thunderstorm warning for Gage and Jefferson counties. So a big mess of this complex of strong to severe showers and thunderstorms, trying to keep the picture here so you can see everything going on, but very spread out right now across all of these warnings over southeast Nebraska, southwest Iowa, and northwest Missouri. Just checking to see if we have any new reports. I don't believe we received any updated reports in our area. But in relation to this new severe thunderstorm warning, right along the Nebraska-Kansas border that includes Beatrice, it looks like we did get a report right on the border here of wind report based on personal weather station, uh, 58 miles per hour. This was one we mentioned earlier in the warning. This was in the Narca area. And certainly there is some indications that these storms are beginning to, at least in an isolated area, so between Fairbury and Morrowville, right along the Kansas-Nebraska border, seeing some indications of what we would call maybe a little bit of a bowing of these storms. If they push a little bit more easterly than northeasterly, that could be an indication of some stronger wind gusts. And in fact, we do see that in the Morrowville area, well south of Fairbury, fortunately. There are some indications of some strong wind gusts on the leading edge of that. So that is a pattern we're beginning to see in this line of showers and thunderstorms. The good news is we would hope that that would begin to ease off the threat for large hail. The bad news is that would begin to increase the potential for some strong damaging winds inside these storms. And that would remain a concern as we move through the evening and soon to be overnight, early morning hours here in Nebraska, Iowa, and Missouri. See if we've got any updates on any of our warnings here. No update on any of the warnings right now. And then, of course, our flash flood warning was just issued about 6 minutes ago. That flash flood warning for portions of Johnson, Nemaha, and Otoe counties until 2:15 this morning. We are beginning, though, to see a pattern of these storms moving a little more easterly and southeasterly than north. And hopefully that will limit the risk of flash flooding. But already, as the Weather Service pointed out in that flash flood area, upwards of 3 inches of rain has already fallen, and they could see another inch. But what I'm curious about, I'm going to go ahead and throw the loop without the lightning on this. Actually, let's go back to that, and I'm just going to take it off. What I'm a little curious about is we saw these cells kind of training on one another, which was producing that heavy rain. But especially here along the Nebraska-Kansas border, we're certainly getting some indications that it's beginning, instead of moving, it's not the right pointer. Instead of moving northeasterly, we're getting the indication that some of these cells, especially right here, are beginning to move a little more easterly. And that could be an indicator of some wind gusts beginning to push these storms along a different path, and that would be an indicator of maybe some stronger wind gusts within these thunderstorms. And we did get a report of a 58-mile-an-hour wind gust right along the Nebraska-Kansas border. So we are also kind of seeing that pattern. If we move up to the warned storms in Missouri and Iowa, that they may begin moving a little more southerly, and so that could help create more of a wind gust threat, especially along the leading edge. Let's go ahead and actually flip over to our velocity scan here. And still nothing overly concerning as they are still showing some stronger wind gusts on the leading edge of that storm system. And we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued for portions of southwest Iowa. Severe thunderstorm warning has, apologies for that, had the wrong tool open. Severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for the Clarinda and College Springs area. Let's get that information for you up here on the screen. Severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for portions of Montgomery and Page counties in southwest Iowa until 12:15 Wednesday morning. This does include the communities of Clarinda, College Springs, Essex, and Villisca. Again, severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for southeastern Montgomery and Page counties in southwest Iowa until 12:15 a.m. Right now, a severe thunderstorm is located along a line extending from 5 miles northeast of Essex to 4 miles north of Coyne. To 4 miles west of Blanchard, moving east at 35 miles per hour. Now, that's what we were talking about. They're not moving, some of these storms are not moving northeast anymore. They're moving more easterly. And that may begin to create, along with the ongoing hail threat, maybe a slightly enhanced risk of some stronger wind gusts on that leading edge as they continue to move off to the east. So, severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for Montgomery and Page counties until 12:15 a.m. All right, we'll go back now to live first alert radar. And we're going to go ahead and back this out a little bit and just take a, well, first let's take a quick look at what we're seeing. We saw the velocity scan there indicating some stronger wind gusts there right along Highway 2 between Shenandoah and Clarinda. Also keeping an eye on any potential hail core. There is still a pretty sizable hail core, again, right along that Highway 2 corridor, also along Highway 59 south of Shenandoah. Right now, no indication that that is producing any 1-inch diameter hail, but that does remain a possibility as we move through the next hour or so. Another reminder that we do have additional warnings in southwest Iowa, northwest Missouri. We now have a flash flood warning in effect for portions of southeastern Nebraska. That flash flood warning is in effect for Johnson, Nemaha, and Odo counties until 2:15 this morning. And we now have a severe thunderstorm warning that's now in effect for Jefferson, Saline, and Gage counties until midnight. And looks like we lost our image there. So let's go ahead and go over that severe thunderstorm watch that does remain in effect until 2 o'clock this morning for the counties you see shaded in yellow as this complex of strong to severe thunderstorms continues to move off to the northeast or east anywhere between 35 and 45 miles per hour. Charles over on Facebook says wind is starting to pick up in Auburn. Yeah, that is not surprising as we are seeing some, especially on the leading edge, some stronger wind gusts. So far here in our area, no reports of any strong damaging wind gusts at this time, but certainly remains a possibility. Obviously, everyone remotely close to these thunderstorms is seeing the intense lightning out there that continues to be produced by these thunderstorms. Still seeing hundreds of lightning strikes over the last half hour or so across the area as these storms continue to push off to the east-northeast, anywhere between 35 and 45 miles per hour. All right, let's go ahead and take a tour of some of these thunderstorms. There you see the Beatrice area and Fairbury also remaining under that severe thunderstorm warning until midnight tonight. Let's go ahead and back out to live first alert radar here. There you see, it's kind of hard to make out in the green there. Let me see if I can highlight this for you. We do have that severe flash flood warning in effect for Johnson, Nemaha, and Odo counties until 2:15 in the morning. And then we also have just being issued a severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for portions of Montgomery and Page counties until 12:15 a.m. in southwest Iowa. And then we do still have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Atchison County in northwestern Missouri until midnight. The severe thunderstorm warning north of that has just expired as we've now passed the 11:30 mark of your late Tuesday evening. But again, we do still have a number of severe thunderstorm warnings and now that flash flood warning in effect along this complex of strong to severe thunderstorms. Again, this is staying well south of the Omaha metro area right now. But again, ongoing threat for severe weather for the southeastern third of our viewing area, those highlighted counties you see there on the radar image. We have been monitoring cameras in these areas. Unfortunately, these are very rural parts of our area, and so not a lot of live cameras available where these severe thunderstorms are occurring right now. But also very hard to make anything out on those cameras because it is dark, and obviously in these more open areas, they're not often very well lit. So it's really hard to make out if any hail is in fact falling with these thunderstorms if we do happen to have a camera in that vicinity. So we do appreciate everyone that's been giving us reports of what you've seen in your home. That really helps us out and confirm what we're seeing on radar. As of course, the radar image only tells us part of the story. It doesn't tell us what's actually happening on the ground. So I want to thank everybody who's been providing us reports. If you're joining us on our website, as well as we have our 24/7 streaming channel on Roku devices. We're also streaming live on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, and Facebook. If you're joining us on Facebook or YouTube, feel free to leave a comment. Let us know what you're seeing, or if you have any questions about the thunderstorms that are happening tonight, feel free to let us know. If you're just joining us from the Omaha metro area, we could see some isolated showers and thunderstorms through the early morning hours, but again, the severe threat will stay to the south of the metro area. Where you see that line of thunderstorms and points east and south, that is where the threat for severe weather exists over the next several hours. The severe thunderstorm watch does remain in effect for portions of southeastern Nebraska, as well as southwest Iowa and northwest Missouri, and the counties shaded in yellow until 2 o'clock tomorrow morning. So about another 2.5 hours on that severe thunderstorm watch. And then, of course, we do still have a bevy of severe thunderstorm warnings in effect all along this line, stretching now from Creston back towards Shenandoah, south of Nebraska City, into Auburn, Tecumseh. There you see a flash flood warning in effect until 2:15 this morning. And now Beatrice experiencing its second severe thunderstorm warning. There they had a 1-inch diameter hail fall earlier this evening. This has been quite a quick development of thunderstorms, which really got going just before the 10 o'clock hour. We were keeping an eye on this. This started as just a line of light showers, and then around 9 o'clock and thereafter, we did see this sort of explode into a potent line of showers and thunderstorms that is now producing warnings all the way up in the Newton area in central Iowa, east of Des Moines. And we were talking about that gap, and there you see, if we pan over here, that is now filling in as this line of showers and thunderstorms extends from the center point area of eastern Iowa all the way back. Now it's beginning to fill in through central, western Iowa, back here into southeastern Nebraska, northwestern Missouri, and all the way down into northern Kansas. A very large line now extending beyond the scope of this watch area. And so a pretty pronounced area of strong thunderstorms developing across the upper Midwest. Fortunately, as we said, avoiding the Omaha and Lincoln metro areas, but the southeastern third of our area remains under the gun as several severe thunderstorms are moving through the area right now. Zoom back in here on the warnings we have in our area. There you see, let's switch over to our hail scan and see if we're getting anything right now. Just some very sporadic reports or indications of some hail falling. Not seeing any large hail cores anywhere, but certainly, especially east of Shenandoah, the potential for some moderate to large-sized hail as these storms continue to move off to the east-northeast at anywhere between 30 and 40 miles per hour. Back now live to First Alert Radar, and hopefully the rest of the scan will kick in here in just a moment. Because no, that gap is not actually there. We'll see if we can get that scan back here in just a moment. But there we go. There you see that line of strong to severe showers and thunderstorms pushing through the southeastern portion of Nebraska, southwest Iowa, northwest Missouri. We're now taking a look at this cell now once again over Beatrice, where they did receive a 1-inch hail report earlier tonight from the first thunderstorm that moved through that area. And now they are, at the very least, getting a very intense thunderstorm right now, capable of producing strong winds and large hail. We also have over here in southwest Iowa, northwest Missouri, a pair of severe thunderstorm warnings, as this line appears to be trying to push a little more towards the south and east. Let's go ahead and throw this in motion real quick. Yeah, we're beginning to see the kind of the hallmarks of what may be kind of a bowing out of this storm. So you see where it looked a little more intense about an hour ago. it was really training on itself, and that's where we were seeing the hail. Now we're seeing weaker returns, but it's beginning to develop further to the south and east, and that would be an indication that this now is carrying a bigger threat of producing some strong wind gusts along that leading edge, especially as these storms become what we call outflow dominant, where they're likely going to eject an outflow boundary that exits from it. They may start to weaken, but in that period, we could see some accelerated wind gusts along the leading edge. And so that is something that we're going to have to keep an eye out for in these areas where their severe thunderstorm warnings are already in effect, and then points to the east of that where these storms will be headed next in our area. Let's switch over to the velocity scan, and you can kind of see what we mean. We now are getting some much more intense wind reports right along the leading edge of those showers and thunderstorms. So the Westboro area, northwest Missouri, upwards to College Springs and southwest Iowa, Clarinda even, could see some very strong wind gusts on the leading edge of these storms as they move through the area. So that will be enhanced concern we'll have to look at as these storms kind of shift their mode. The hail risk will begin to ease off a bit, and then we'll have more of a focus on some strong wind gusts, especially on that leading edge. There you see the reflectivity scan, the intense rainfall falling through that area. But again, beginning to see some more motion to the south. Hopefully that will begin to also ease off concerns about flash flooding tonight, as we already have the one flash flood warning in effect. But as this entire line now begins to light up from Iowa back to Missouri, Nebraska, and Kansas, we may see that begin to bow out a little bit more. And unfortunately, that may produce some strong wind gusts, but the good news is that may also produce some faster motion in these storms and possibly get them out of our area a little bit faster. So these are the warnings that remain in effect right now across our area. One in southwest Iowa, one in northwest Missouri, and one in southern Nebraska. As we are approaching the midnight hour and heading into your Wednesday morning. We are beginning to get, looks like we're just about to get an update from the Storm Prediction Center here, so we'll try and get that information here for you in just a moment. It looks like they're probably going to be advising of a threat of wind and heavy rain along this line as it's now developing further into Iowa. We'll try and get that information here. It's just not populating the website too quickly. Okay, so the latest from the Storm Prediction Center on the Severe Thunderstorm Watch. The severe weather threat for the watch in the watch area does continue. The threat for occasional large hail and isolated wind damage will continue along a stalled front for the next couple of hours, with additional storm development expected into eastern Iowa. That is an area that really doesn't want to see that tonight after a bout of tornadoes and large hail earlier today. Thunderstorms have developed rapidly along the front, which is expected to move little over the next few hours and will provide a focus for additional thunderstorm development. Storms will likely remain confined to the front and will pose a threat for large hail, followed by isolated wind damage as the storm coverage increases and bowing segments become possible. And that is the trend that we're already seeing in southern Nebraska and southwest Iowa. A brief tornado may also occur with these bowing segments interacting with the front. Once storms become widespread, storm intensity will decrease and the severe threat will begin to wane close to the time the watch expires at 2 a.m. That's the latest from the Storm Prediction Center in Norman, Oklahoma. So basically, to kind of translate that a little bit, we are seeing some shifting in the direction of these storms as they're beginning to move more easterly and southeasterly instead of northeast. And that is an indicator that they are beginning to transition from an elevated hail threat to more of a bowing wind threat, but not expected to deviate far from this front that's stalled out right along this area. If we zoom out here, you can actually we'll switch over to our loop, and you can see this line really filling in from Kansas all the way up through Iowa. And so now we've seen that new severe thunderstorm watch issued for eastern Iowa, an extension of the watch we have in our area until 2 o'clock in the morning. And you see that's all filling in. We expect to see the hail threat begin to subside here in southern Nebraska, southwest Iowa, and transition to more of an isolated wind threat. And we have been seeing that, as you see. Actually, let's zoom in on, go back to our live radar here, and I can show you what we're talking about. Right with this section here, south of Nebraska City. Let's throw this into motion. And you see how it's moving to the northeast, and then as the new thunderstorms develop, watch south of Nebraska City as these storms kind of start pushing south. And that is where we're probably going to be seeing some more gusty winds along that leading edge that will cause these storms to weaken and begin to reduce the threat of some large hail. But as new thunderstorms develop, the first threat really will be large hail, and then as they begin to weaken and then push to the south a little bit and to the east, we're going to see that wind threat increase. If we switch over to velocity right now, and we zoom in on this leading edge, this is where we're seeing those stronger wind gusts now between Brownville, Rockport, upwards toward Clarinda in southwest Iowa. These are the areas where we're concerned about some stronger wind gusts on the leading edge of this line of showers and thunderstorms. So again, if you've been joining us for a while, this is mainly kind of the life cycle of these nocturnal thunderstorms, where we see rapid development capable of producing large hail, which we've seen in some areas tonight, and now we're seeing that motion begin to shift into more of a leading edge wind event as they continue to push off to the east now between 30 and 40 miles per hour. And you can see that over here south of Beatrice. You can see we're seeing more of a kind of a bowing line in the heavier precipitation, as opposed to a line that's kind of running a conveyor belt over the same area like we saw earlier in the Tecumseh area, where we have that flash flood warning in effect now. Craig on Facebook asked a few minutes ago that it looks like it will miss Omaha. Yeah, there is no severe threat for Omaha tonight. Can't rule out more showers and thunderstorms later tonight, but nothing in the metro area that we expect to produce any severe weather. We are declaring a first alert weather day for Wednesday for the potential of strong to severe thunderstorms in the metro tomorrow, Wednesday. I'm going to try and keep my terminology since we're so close to midnight. Wednesday afternoon, especially during the evening rush, we could see some strong to severe thunderstorms in the Omaha metro area. But if you're trying to get some sleep, can't rule out some rumbles of thunder and some showers in the Omaha area, but no threat for severe weather as you're sleeping tonight here in the metro area. Go ahead and zoom out here so you can see the scope of these showers and thunderstorms here in our area, stretching well southwest of Beatrice, up towards Tecumseh, Auburn, Rockport, Shenandoah, Red Oak, and Creston. We do have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings that will be in effect for at least another 15 minutes. And then we'll see what the National Weather Service decides to do as these become more of gust front thunderstorms, producing some strong wind gusts on the leading edge. We haven't seen any severe wind reports in our area yet. Hopefully that will be a sign that the overall threat for severe weather tonight is beginning to subside, and just as important, hopefully that will begin to limit the threat for any additional flash flooding, as we have seen some flash flooding in portions of southeast Nebraska tonight. Obviously we need the precipitation. It's been very dry, but too much at one time is not a good thing, especially so on dry ground. Flash flooding can become a significant problem in that situation. So it's good to get some healthy rain, but I think we've gotten all we can take tonight in these areas, and certainly don't want to see any additional flash flooding in these areas that have been dealing with thunderstorms now for several hours, and could see thunderstorms for several hours to come. Again, I want to thank everyone that's been joining us tonight as we're bringing you live coverage of this severe weather event in southeastern Nebraska, southwest Iowa, and northwest Missouri. We are streaming live on our 24/7 weather channel on Roku devices. We're also streaming live on our website, and also streaming live on our social media channels on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. We bring you this extended coverage to provide you real-time information, even if the weather doesn't warrant breaking into programming on television. We want to give you this outlet so that you can have the information you need when you want it. And so if you do like having this option, we really encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook, and especially on YouTube, make sure you like these live streams and hit that bell icon so that you get notifications when we do go live. Because beyond severe weather, we also cover breaking news around the clock and bring that to you streaming here first. So you don't have to wait for the next newscast or read about it on a website later. So really hoping to provide as much live coverage as possible here on our streaming apparatus, both on social media and on our streaming channels available on our website and on Roku devices. Just look for First Alert 6 on your Roku device, and you can get access to all of our live streams as well as all of our newscasts and reporting, both on air and online. Sydney, or excuse me, Michelle in Facebook again. Is Sydney going to be hit again? I'm so ready to go to sleep. Michelle, you're not alone. I am very ready to go to sleep as well. Yeah, I think unfortunately you're still looking at more showers and thunderstorms. I think the good news is that the overall motion of these storms is beginning to move a little more to the south and east, which hopefully will provide you an opportunity to get some rest. But I know these are very prolific lightning producers, and therefore they are very prolific thunder producers as well. So unfortunately, I think that's going to continue for a little while longer. I think, though, the good news is overall the severe threat appears to be easing off. However, we could still see some stronger wind gusts. But again, right now, it's just going to take some time to clear these storms out of here because they're really just hugging this boundary that right now is just south of the Sydney area. So I think there's a good chance that you're going to avoid any additional severe weather in Sydney, but I think the showers and thunderstorms and unfortunately the noise is going to continue for a little while. But these storms are beginning to push a little more easterly now as they are beginning to produce some stronger wind gusts. And so hopefully that will finally push the entire complex further away from you in Sydney, and you can get some sleep. I'm very much looking forward to sleep myself here. Once this threat subsides, because we will likely be doing this all again tomorrow afternoon, as we've declared a first alert weather day for Wednesday afternoon, as well as another first alert weather day for the potential for more severe weather on Friday. So a very active weather pattern for the greater upper Midwest and the Great Plains. Now we're getting in on it here in eastern Nebraska, western Iowa, and we could see another round Wednesday afternoon, and then another round possibly on Friday afternoon as well. But right now, just keeping the focus on the thunderstorms we have in our area right now. The Storm Prediction Center just a short time ago saying they are going to continue the severe thunderstorm watch that remains in effect until 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock in the morning. This will be primarily for isolated reports of large hail and now possibly some strong damaging winds as well, as the mode of these thunderstorms begins to transition to bowing lines that are kind of pushing to the east-southeast as the entire complex moves at about 30 to 40 miles per hour. We'll go ahead and put this into motion so you can see what we're talking about. There you see that as more thunderstorms have begun to develop, if you look right around that I-29 icon, you can see that section of these thunderstorms beginning to create kind of what we call a bowing shape and beginning to stretch a little further to the south right there. And that is an indicator that we're starting to get what we call kind of an outflow that is creating some stronger wind gusts on that southeastern edge of these storms, and that will begin pushing the storms a little more out of our area, reducing the risk of large hail, and then really just dealing with some strong gusty winds at the leading edge, as well as all of that lightning, thunder, and heavy rainfall that's coming with these storms. Already in portions of southeast Nebraska, we've heard reports of over 3 inches of rain in some areas, which are now under a flash flood warning until 2:15 a.m. All right, let's go back to live first alert radar now. There you see right in the center there near Tecumseh, our flash flood warning in effect until 2:15 this morning. Still just that 1-inch hail report that we received near Beatrice. I believe the other hail reports we received, unless that's a new one, I guess I should double check that since they've had another storm come through. No, that is the report we received about an hour and a half ago. We have received a couple of other reports of some smaller hail, but fortunately, especially over these more rural areas, we're not seeing widespread reports of large hail. That's the good news so far. Again, as these storms begin to kind of bow out, as you're seeing, we could see some more intense wind gusts. In fact, I kind of want to take a look at this storm over east of Shenandoah that really looks like it's kind of giving that bow signature a little bit. Yeah, and there you see getting some brighter greens northeast of Clarinda along that leading edge, certainly indicating the potential for some stronger wind gusts along that leading edge. And as we move a little further down there, seeing other little pockets of strong wind gusts from Westboro up to College Springs, and then east of Clarinda right now. Certainly worth keeping an eye on as we've been talking about. Rather than training, we're seeing kind of this bowing structure beginning to set up. The radar decided to update on me. So there you see kind of that bow. And that is where we're going to start seeing a little more gusty winds along that leading edge. And as you've seen the reflectivity returns kind of ease off, hopefully that's a sign that at least in these areas, maybe not other areas, that risk for large hail is beginning to subside a little bit. We'll go ahead and zoom out here as we continue to monitor the severe thunderstorm warning for the Beatrice area and points to the south and west that I believe continues for about another 5 minutes until midnight. Yes, Jefferson and Gage counties until midnight. And then we do still have a severe thunderstorm warning in southwest Iowa. Looks like we just got an update on that. Severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 12:15 a.m. for Montgomery and Page counties. Emergency management reported quarter-sized hail in Essex, Iowa. So that is not showing up here on our map yet, but quarter-sized hail was reported by emergency management near Essex about 20 minutes ago in southwest Iowa. I know we got a lot of people in our chat on YouTube that are asking about some areas outside of our viewing area. I don't really want to try and predict what's going to happen. Somebody asked about the Oklahoma area. I don't really want to predict that. That is well far out of what we're dealing with here. But for those of you asking about eastern Iowa, and I know you guys have already had a pretty rough night tonight with hail, yeah, this entire complex that has really fired up in Nebraska over the last several hours has now stretched all the way into eastern Iowa. There you see it stretching into the I-380 corridor around the Center Point, Urbana area, back towards Newton, southeast of Des Moines, and then all the way back over here near southeast of Nebraska City, northwest Missouri, southwest Iowa, where we have severe thunderstorm warnings. As you can see, the watch has been extended to include eastern Iowa. These storms, once they first develop, that is when the greatest threat for hail is going to exist with these storms. But as they continue to move, with some of the existing storms we're dealing with here in Nebraska and western Iowa, they're beginning to bow out to the south and east a bit. And so that is beginning to reduce the hail threat and extend this into more of a strong gusty wind event. So hail and strong winds are going to be the primary threats as these storms develop over the next several hours. But the tornado threat right now, especially after everything that's already happened this afternoon, is extremely low. Also getting some more questions if you're just joining us from the Omaha area. There's still an isolated chance of showers and thunderstorms in the metro area, but the severe threat is done for the night for the metro area. That's all going to stay to the south and east. All of those counties shaded in yellow you see well southeast of Omaha. That is a severe thunderstorm watch in effect in our area until 2 a.m. And then you see that bevy of severe thunderstorm warnings, and then even that flash flood warning in the greater Tecumseh area. That flash flood warning is in effect until 2:15 this morning. well, almost this morning, as we're not quite to midnight yet, but 2:15 a.m. as more than 3 inches of rain has fallen in that area. The Beatrice area, which already received 1 inch diameter hail, still under a severe thunderstorm warning for just a couple more minutes as that storm continues to push through that area. And then in southwest Iowa, we do still have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 12:15 this morning, as that line of thunderstorms that has a history of producing large hail looks like it's beginning to sort of turn itself into more of a wind producer here, as we're seeing this bowing structure east of Clarinda. I'm going to switch over to the velocity scan here and see if we can get an update on that. There you see some stronger wind gusts, those brighter colors along that leading edge, as this does appear to be what we call bowing out a bit. So where you see that leading edge, if it was daylight out right now, and if you're in that area and there's a lot of lightning, obviously, you're probably seeing some very low-hanging clouds, so possibly a shelf cloud or a roll cloud of some kind along this leading edge as this line of thunderstorms begins to bow out a bit. And so the primary threat in this area is beginning to shift towards some strong, potentially damaging wind gusts on the leading edge of the storm, followed by some heavy rain and intense lightning. But we do still have that isolated risk of some large hail as well. Can't rule out an isolated tornado, but that is by no means the primary threat at this point. As in these bowing segments, it's beginning to turn into more of a strong damaging wind event. And that will likely be the case further to our east into Iowa, as this extension of strong to severe thunderstorms has now exploded across the state of Iowa, stretching back here through Nebraska into northern Kansas, where all of these severe thunderstorm warnings are now in effect. But as we said, as this transition is taking place, take a look at our severe thunderstorm warning for the Beatrice and Fairbury County areas until midnight. The strongest portion of the storm has exited, and instead of exiting to the northeast, it's exiting to the southeast, and that's because these cells are beginning to bow out a bit. It's kind of on the fringe of the Omaha velocity scan, but again, seeing those brighter colors along the leading edge indicating some strong wind gusts becoming the primary threat from these thunderstorms. We'll wait and see what the National Weather Service decides to do, as that severe thunderstorm warning is set to expire here in about 15 seconds. And it certainly doesn't look like they need to extend that for that area, but we'll have to see if they decide to issue a new warning to the south and east as that warning expires right about now. There it goes. So the last remaining severe thunderstorm warning for our viewing area is now in southwest Iowa. Severe thunderstorm warning does continue until 12:15 for, it looks like we did just get an update on this, for southeastern Montgomery and Page counties. Severe thunderstorm was located along a line extending from 4 miles southeast of Villisca to 4 miles east of Clarinda to 2 miles north of Bradyville, and this is moving to the east now, not the northeast, at 30 miles per hour. A quarter-sized hail remains a possibility, as well as some strong damaging winds upwards of about 60 miles per hour. This is all radar indicated, but these storms do have a history of producing some large hail. I believe Essex in southwest Iowa reported 1 inch diameter hail earlier. And we are now seeing these storms beginning to enter their bowing stage, which will hopefully reduce that threat for a large hail, but does still exist this threat for some strong damaging winds as they move through the area. Also want to point out, but hopefully things will get a little bit easier here, is if you see that green area, I know it's kind of hard to see. Let me see if I can get a better view of that for you. We have this very narrow green polygon that I want to bring your attention to, because we've had reports of more than 3 inches of rain in this area. I guess we do have a new one now. Flash flood warning in effect for portions of Johnson, Nemaha, and Otoe counties until 2:15 this morning, where more than 3 inches of rain was reported. We now have I guess this is just an extension of that flash flood warning. Looks like we may have an update on this now. There we go. Gage and Johnson County now have a flash flood warning until 3 o'clock this morning. Doppler radar is indicating thunderstorms produced heavy rain across the warned area between 1.5 to 2.5 inches. Additional amounts of anywhere from 1/2 inch to 1.5 inch could still fall in this warned area. Flash flooding is ongoing or expected to begin shortly. Again, this is radar indicated. Further to the east, near Tecumseh, this flash flood warning until 2:15 this morning was confirmed by spotters that reported flash flooding in that area after upwards of 3 inches of rain fell, and they expected another inch to fall between now and 2:15 this morning. So the flash flood warnings will continue for about another 2 to 3 hours as these storms slowly make their way out of southeast Nebraska and push off to the east. Right now, I do not believe we have any new severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for our area. We have one remaining severe thunderstorm warning here in far southwest Iowa, where we did get some reports of some severe hail. But now, as you see, and we're going to go ahead and put this in motion, instead of that strong line, now you see kind of that bowing where you see it kind of bend outwards, especially east of Shenandoah. And that is a good indicator of a transition from a hail event to a wind event. So I think right now the main threat in this warned area, if they do decide to continue this warning past 12:15, is going to be for strong damaging winds along the leading edge of this. And there you see some of those brighter colors on the velocity scan indicating those strong wind gusts now. I think that is going to be the primary threat for the rest of the early morning hours as this finally pushes out of our area and into southern Iowa and northern Missouri. But yeah, that bowing is a really good indicator right there, where we've seen the radar returns kind of weaken, but we've also seen that acceleration to the east, that there could be some pockets of strong wind gusts embedded in that, and that is becoming the primary threat over a large hail like we saw earlier as these storms passed through Nebraska City and Beatrice earlier tonight. Go ahead and switch back here to our Omaha live first alert radar. There you see some of the stronger pockets of thunderstorms south of Beatrice. Right now, no severe thunderstorm warning with any of those. We do still have the one warning remaining in southwest Iowa, and that appears to be transitioning to a strong wind event. So we will see if they do continue these warnings. The flash flood warnings will continue between 2:15 and 3 o'clock this morning, where 2 to 3 inches of rain has fallen between Beatrice and Tecumseh. And they could see upwards of another 1/2 inch to 1.5 inches of rain in that area before these storms finally push off to the east. Again, if you're just joining us from the Omaha metro area, there is no threat for severe weather for the metro area in Omaha, no threat for severe weather for the metro area in Lincoln. But right now we are keeping an eye out for our southeastern counties where this severe thunderstorm complex is developed. Severe thunderstorm watch does remain in effect until 2 o'clock this morning for the counties you see shaded in yellow. This does not include Lincoln. It does not include Omaha. And we are hoping that we're beginning to get towards the tail end of this. But still, if you're in southeast Nebraska, southwest Iowa, if not severe weather, still a pretty bumpy night ahead as these thunderstorms make their way through. One of our viewers on YouTube, we appreciate your appreciation. We're happy to do this. We're trying to provide extensive coverage on streaming when the conditions do not warrant cutting in on television, not only for weather, but for breaking news as well. We had a lot of coverage of breaking news in Omaha today throughout the day, and we try and do that whenever we need to. If you want to stay advised of what's happening, feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook. You can follow, we're streaming live on Twitch and TikTok. We also have our 24/7 weather channel and our website streaming channel, all available to you. We try and live stream as much as possible when the conditions warrant, both for news and for weather. Samantha over on Facebook asks, is Adair County clear? I wouldn't say that Adair County is clear right now, and I'm going to have to refresh my memory here. That's, I believe, north of Creston, just east of our viewing area. Still some strong showers and thunderstorms in that area. They are beginning to push out of that area, and there is no warning right now. But still the potential of maybe some small hail, obviously some heavy downpours, and maybe a couple of strong wind gusts. But yes, there is no warning for that area right now, and the storms are beginning to exit the Adair County area. So that is the good news for you. And thanks for joining us, as I know you're not in our viewing area, but we do appreciate you joining us here. Okay, so we do have our one remaining severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect for portions of Montgomery and Page counties until 12:15. We do have. Oh well, this is new. This is for Adams and Taylor County. This issued about 10 minutes ago. This is a considerable severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for Adams and Taylor County until 12:30 this morning. This is because, as we've been talking about, that Boeing signature that we've been watching, as our radar for some reason pops back into place there. That Boeing we've been drawing that line on is an indicator of some intense wind gusts on the leading edge of this, and so that's why we've seen that severe thunderstorm warning issued right along that leading edge. If we switch over to the velocity scan, we see some embedded rotation. That is extremely broad rotation. That is in no way indicating any kind of tornadic development. But what it does indicate is some more volatile winds aloft that are kind of pushing those wind gusts along that leading edge. So again, south of Quincy over to Bedford, that is where right now we could see some brief wind gusts upwards of 70 miles per hour. So a considerable severe thunderstorm warning has now been issued for the Bedford area. Let me go through that warning here again one more time. This does include Adams and Taylor County. Severe thunderstorm was located near New Market, moving east at 30 miles per hour. Still the potential for some quarter-sized hail, but the primary threat is wind gusts upwards of 70 miles per hour. Obviously, wind gusts that intense can easily down trees, power lines, and cause flying debris of anything left outside in those winds. So a considerable severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for Adams and Taylor County until 12:30 this morning. There you see that Boeing structure we've been talking about, and we're seeing that pattern all along this line in southern Nebraska, southwest Iowa, northwest Missouri. The one bit of good news is if you've been dealing with hours of showers and noisy thunderstorms, this kind of transition from elevated hail producers to more of a Boeing wind-producing storm will begin to cause these storms to finally exit your area, and that's especially good news for the Beatrice and Tecumseh areas now under a flash flood warning, where upwards of 3 inches of rain, possibly up to 4 inches of rain, will have fallen when all is said and done, as these storms continue to push off to the south and east. And we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning for the far eastern portion of our viewing area over in southwestern Iowa. So we'll get you that information right now. Again, this is along that increasingly Boeing line. Severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for portions of Adams, Ringgold, Taylor, and Union counties until 1 o'clock this morning. This is just a general severe thunderstorm warning. The primary threat is going to be the risk for strong damaging wind gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour. There remains an isolated threat of some quarter-sized hail in this warned area. But again, this is for that Boeing section you see there approaching Highway 148 west of Lenox. Severe thunderstorm warning now in effect until 1 a.m. for portions of Union, Adams, Ringgold, and Taylor counties. The thunderstorm located along a line extending from 5 miles east of Nottoway to 6 miles northwest of Sharpsburg to 4 miles southwest of Gravity. This is moving now due east at 40 miles per hour. The greatest potential is for 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, as well as isolated area of quarter-sized hail. Obviously, that is enough to cause damage to vehicles, and those winds capable of causing damage to roofs, siding, and trees as well. So, new severe thunderstorm warning: Adams, Ringgold, Taylor, and Union counties until 1 o'clock this morning. And I apologize that we kind of lose our radar image here periodically as there we go. There you see so far the National Weather Service in Omaha has decided that these storms are going to stay below severe limits for now, as they are finally exiting the Beatrice and Tecumseh areas, where that flash flood warning is going to continue for a couple more hours after some very intense rainfall in those areas. Upwards of 3 inches had already fallen, could end up with anywhere from 4 to 5 inches in areas where that flash flood warning is now in effect. So there was confirmed flash flooding in the greater Tecumseh area that triggered that warning, and radars indicating the potential for flash flooding in the Beatrice area. So just something to keep an eye out for. And anyone who's been dealing with a lot of showers and thunderstorms tonight, if you're still up, might want to check that sump pump before you go to bed and make sure that it's doing its job as these storms finally exit the area. All right, back over to our severe thunderstorm warnings now in southwest Iowa, as this system does finally begin to exit our viewing area. Do want to point out that this line, which has now exploded over Iowa, stretches all the way over to eastern Iowa, causing them to extend that severe thunderstorm watch that's in effect for our area until 2 o'clock this morning. There you see that southeasterly projection of these storms as they begin to what we call bow out and make it a little more capable of producing some strong winds, which has become the primary threat. The good news is that will cause these storms to finally begin to exit our viewing area here in Iowa, Missouri, and Nebraska. So right now, the only severe thunderstorm warnings we have now in effect are for southwest Iowa. We have a flash flood warning stretching from Beatrice upwards towards Tecumseh for a couple more hours, and then severe thunderstorm watch does remain in effect for these areas until 2 o'clock this morning for the counties you see here shaded in yellow, as these storms begin to finally push out of the area over the next couple of hours. There is that flash flood warning, that corridor of heavy rain that's been falling in the vicinity of Highway 77, Highway 136 as well. We've been showing you some live pictures there earlier from the Nebraska Department of Transportation of that intense thunderstorm that just kind of trained one after the other in that area. That is now finally beginning to push off to the south and east. And so the primary threat for any area seeing thunderstorms at this time is beginning to transition to more of a strong, damaging wind threat. There you see our one of our severe thunderstorm warnings in southwestern Iowa has now expired. It is now 12:15, and that leaves us with officially these 2 thunderstorm warnings here, but really they kind of are for the same storm system. And right on the fringe, this is the Omaha and Des Moines radars kind of competing here, but fortunately, this is finally beginning to exit our area. There's the latest velocity scans, a little bit where that new severe thunderstorm warning was issued, getting a little bit of broad rotation along the leading edge. That's not out of the ordinary, as there is always the potential for a very brief spin up of a tornado, but not much of a greater concern than the strong wind gusts along the leading edge of this. So that is where the focus of the attention is for this new severe thunderstorm warning for areas along I-34 south of Creston in southwest Iowa. Just taking a quick check here, not seeing any storm reports from these severe thunderstorms as they're rolling through the area. That is at least a little bit of good news. Obviously, we don't get as many reports at this late hour, but The good news is that it appears these thunderstorms are going to move out of the area without any widespread damage. One area of concern was the 1-inch diameter hail reported in Beatrice. Hopefully the damage there is kept to a minimum. And also earlier tonight in Essex, Iowa, we had a report of 1-inch diameter hail from first responders. For those of you just joining us on YouTube or Facebook, some of you are joining us from central Iowa. Thank you for joining us, by the way. Unfortunately, that's not in our viewing area. Somebody was asking about Des Moines. There are some showers and thunderstorms in that area, but Des Moines right now not under the severe thunderstorm watch, as the bulk of the thunderstorms have already pushed to your south and east. The severe threat is beginning to transition to more of a strong wind gust event as these storms continue to push to the east at anywhere between 30 and 40 miles per hour. But again, right now, I'd say the severe threat is quickly subsiding for the Des Moines metro area as these storms are beginning to push away. But southern Iowa, areas east and south of Des Moines, under a severe thunderstorm watch still until 2 o'clock this morning. We'll go ahead and put that up on the screen here. There you see that watch that remains in effect. This has now been extended out into eastern Iowa as this large line of thunderstorms has kind of exploded from Kansas through Nebraska, Missouri, and then all the way through Iowa over the last few hours. So that severe thunderstorm watch remains in effect until 2 o'clock this morning. It does not include the Des Moines metro area. It also doesn't include the Omaha or Lincoln metro areas, as all of these thunderstorms have pushed well to the south of those areas. Right now, the only severe thunderstorm warning we have is the area along Highway 34, south and west of Creston in southwest Iowa. Kind of see that notch there where we're seeing some rotation. Not really a major concern in terms of potentially seeing a tornado, but that does indicate this could be a little pocket right up here west of Creston, where we could see some stronger wind gusts as these storms kind of interact, as some of them are beginning to bow out and others are not. And so we could see some stronger wind gusts in that area. So if you know anyone in the Creston area, or if you happen to be joining us in the Creston area because some thunder has woken you up, there is a severe thunderstorm warning. And right now, it looks like the primary threat for Creston and areas south is for those strong wind gusts on the leading edge of these thunderstorms as they make their way through your area. Again, I want to thank everyone that's joining us on our social media channels, as well as our 24/7 streaming channel on Roku and on our streaming website, as we are monitoring this severe weather event finally beginning to push out of our area. But we do still have this remaining severe thunderstorm warning for the Creston area south of Creston, stretching all the way along Highway 34 over to Highway 169, as there still remains a threat of some strong damaging winds on the leading edge of this line of thunderstorms. We do also have a flash flood warning in effect for areas between Beatrice and Tecumseh, where anywhere from 3 to 4 inches of rain has fallen, and another inch could fall over the next couple of hours. But other than that, it looks like the widespread threat for severe weather is beginning to subside for our area, as these storms are finally beginning to push out of the First Alert 6 viewing area. There you see the mess of tornado and hail reports in central and eastern Iowa today, where a major outbreak of severe weather took place, stretching from Iowa to Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Illinois. But fortunately, we did not experience any of that. And outside of a couple of 1-inch hail reports in Beatrice and Essex, no significant severe weather reported in the First Alert 6 viewing area. One of our viewers on YouTube says, new to Shenandoah area, this is helpful. Yeah, we appreciate the kind words. Uh, we just want to try and expand our coverage online because we know that, especially at this late hour, people get woken up by thunderstorms and wonder what's going on. And, this isn't a situation where it warrants cutting into programming. But we have a lot of avenues to stream live radar and information to you. So again, as we said earlier, we're streaming on our 24/7 weather channel available on Roku. Just search for First Alert 6 if you have a Roku device. We're streaming on our website right now, as well as on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, you name it, we're streaming there. And we're going to try and do this whenever we can when weather threatens, as well as we try to do is when breaking news happens in our area. As we like to say, if it's breaking, it's streaming. And right now, the breaking news in our area is this ongoing threat for severe weather that fortunately is beginning to move out of our area. Again, if you're joining us on YouTube, the best way to get alerted to when we're doing live streams, and we do a lot of them throughout the day, is make sure you subscribe to our channel. Always like these live feeds when you're watching them, and make sure you hit that bell icon, and that'll give you alerts when we do a live stream. We also live stream an hour of news at 7 o'clock in the morning on YouTube. We also live stream any breaking news that happens. We live stream regular weather forecast updates. And obviously, that's going to be very important as we are facing another threat of severe weather later this afternoon across portions of Nebraska and Iowa. And right now, the trend is that this threat for severe weather later this afternoon may include the Omaha metro area. Now, I want to stress tonight, I think we're going to be okay in the metro area, as we could see some isolated showers and thunderstorms over the next few hours, but no severe weather expected overnight in the Omaha or Lincoln metro areas. But again, as this exits, we are awaiting an update from the Storm Prediction Center on the forecast for severe weather later today, as it is now Wednesday, and we will certainly bring you that information when it comes in. I'm not sure if we're still going to be streaming at that time, but we'll at least keep the radar up here for a little while, as I know some people east of our viewing area now are chiming in saying that they're watching our live stream as the storms approach them as well. So for those of you just joining us in southwest and central Iowa, here's a live look at the radar as this line of strong thunderstorms continues to push off to the east. Right now, the only warning in our area is the severe thunderstorm warning south of Creston along Highway 34, largely for the potential of some strong damaging wind gusts in this area. This warning, I believe, continues for about another 20 minutes. 45 or half hour roughly until 1 o'clock this morning. Looks like, did we just get an update? No, this is the same update as before. But it looks like the primary threat at this point is some strong damaging wind gusts along that leading edge you see southwest of Creston, and still an isolated chance of some large hail as this continues to push to the east now at about 40 miles per hour. As we are approaching the 3-hour mark of our live stream here during this severe weather event, we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to go ahead and leave the radar up for you here as we are monitoring this remaining severe thunderstorm warning in our area. But we'll keep the radar up for you, and if we do wrap up here soon, we will do a one last update before we go. But we'll go ahead and leave the radar up here for now so you can see those thunderstorms pushing through the eastern part of our viewing area, and we'll be back with you in just a moment. And good morning, Nick Weig here with you from the Alert Center here in Omaha. We are keeping an eye on the remaining severe thunderstorm. It has now begun exiting our viewing area, but I know we have some people in central Iowa that are waking up to some thunderstorms and have caught onto our live stream. So I wanted to let you know that they did extend this severe thunderstorm warning over to the I-35 corridor in central Iowa. The severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for portions of Decatur, Madison, Union, Ringgold, Clark, and Adair counties until 1:30 this morning. Primary threat is going to be the risk for strong damaging wind gusts on the leading edge of this. We're kind of seeing a bit of a outflow boundary ejecting from this. And so if you're in this severe thunderstorm warned area and even south of this area, you see that kind of outflow that's ejected out of that. That is going to produce some very strong wind gusts out in front of the thunderstorm, and then could still see some additional strong wind gusts here on the leading edge as this pushes into central Iowa. So this will impact the I-35 corridor south of St. Charles over to Osceola, and then all the way south east of Grand River. So this new severe thunderstorm warning is now in effect for the new polygon you see there. That is in effect, I believe, until 1:30 this morning for Clark, Madison, Ringgold, and Union counties. This does include Afton, Creston, Murray, and Osceola. Again, this is exiting our area, but we will leave this on the screen here for a little while longer as we're going to provide an update at the top of the hour once we get our new severe weather outlook for later today for the Omaha metro area. So that'll probably be the end of our coverage as the severe weather has now moved out of our area, but we'll go ahead and provide that update for you here sometime around the top of the hour. But for now, we'll go ahead and leave the radar up here on these thunderstorms, now exiting the First Alert 6 viewing area. But again, we'll join you for one final update coming up around the top of the hour. Should probably turn the lights on. There we go. Good morning, everyone. Nick Weig here with you as we are going to be wrapping up our live stream of the severe thunderstorms that have broken out across Nebraska, Iowa, and Missouri this morning and last night. That last severe thunderstorm warning you see there is now out of our viewing area, so we're going to wrap things up. But before we do, I wanted to bring your attention to the next round of severe weather that we're going to be keeping an eye out, because the Storm Prediction Center has just released its outlook for the risk of severe weather for tomorrow. And as we expected, looking at some of the new model trends, they have pushed the slight risk area back into the Omaha metro area. This is going to be for later this afternoon into the evening hours, not for the overnight, not for what's happening right now. This is the risk area for tomorrow, or I shouldn't say tomorrow, later this afternoon across the First Alert 6 viewing area. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at some of the information that the Storm Prediction Center has provided us here. Thunderstorm development appears likely by late afternoon in the vicinity of the surface low, which should be somewhere around the Omaha area in the late afternoon hours. Strong to severe thunderstorm development appears probable across much of this area. Splitting supercells capable of very large hail and tornadoes, especially across Iowa and northern Missouri. That is where the greater tornado potential is going to be, just east of our area, or maybe the far eastern counties of the First Alert 6 area. Again, we're talking about later this afternoon. We're going to be watching that area for the potential of some strong supercells. And we're going to monitor that. For our area, though, and let's go through this as this data is just coming in. We'll try and break this down. This is the tornado risk out for tomorrow. Again, a very, very low risk for tornadoes for the metro area. The greater risk exists, look at this, right along the I-80 corridor in the eastern portion of our viewing area over towards Des Moines, Iowa City, upwards of Cedar Rapids. That is going to be where a boundary is going to be set up tomorrow, and that is going to be the greatest risk for tornadoes just east of the metro area. Can't rule it out here, though, so something to keep an eye out for tomorrow. Now, the wind threat a little bit stronger there for some damaging winds as these storms develop in our area, again, later this afternoon. And then once again, like tonight, the primary threat appears to be hail, especially as these storms first develop, probably sometime mid to late afternoon in the metro area. So this is the risk that we're looking at for later this afternoon. And this will be the next round of severe weather that we are going to be monitoring for our area. Fortunately, after this, we'll at least get 1 day of a break before the potential of some more strong storms on Friday. But because this outlook just came out, just wanted to give you an update that we do now have a slight risk for severe weather for areas of the Omaha metro and points east for later this afternoon and this evening. As a result, we've declared a first alert weather day for today. But again, this is for showers and thunderstorms expected to develop late this afternoon into the early evening hours, not the thunderstorms that are out there right now. We do still officially have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for much of our area south and east of Nebraska City, Shenandoah, and Red Oak until 2 o'clock this morning. However, just looking at the radar trends, it appears that outside of maybe an isolated severe thunderstorm warning, perhaps for far southeastern Nebraska, for the potential of some strong wind gusts, it looks like the threat has largely moved out of the First Alert 6 area. If you are still in those areas under that severe thunderstorm watch, though, there could still be some isolated severe weather tonight, but it looks like the threat has largely begun to subside. And fortunately for that area between Beatrice and Tecumseh, where we now have a flash flood warning in effect for another hour or two, the heavy rain has begun to move out of that area. That's the good news. So hopefully that flash flooding risk in that corridor you see there is beginning to subside. So that is the latest on the thunderstorms out there right now, and a quick update on what to expect tomorrow. Of course, for the very latest, meteorologists terribly sorry, just completely lost my train of thought at this late hour. Coming up later this morning, meteorologist Rusty Lord will have an update on that severe weather forecast for later this afternoon on First Alert 6 starting at 4:30. And again, we will also be streaming live from 7 to 8 o'clock in the morning as well. So be sure to stay tuned for that. But if you're up right now, certainly don't expect you to be up here in a couple of hours when the news begins. But we will have updates throughout the day, both on air, online, and on our social media channels, as well as on YouTube. We will have live updates from our entire First Alert 6 weather team. And then if the weather warrants, as expected this afternoon, this evening, we will be back with you here tonight for additional coverage of strong thunderstorms in Nebraska and Iowa. So until then, I want to thank everyone for joining us. And until the weather warrants again, I'm Nick Weig at the Alert Center in Omaha.